What is up, hooligans? And happy freedom. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Hooligans, where we try to make the news suck a little less. I appreciate all of you guys being here. If you're over on Rumble, please hit that thumbs up button. More likes equals more hooligans. I'm going to read through the schedule really quick, and then we will be checking on all the chats. So let me know how you guys are doing today. Then, of course, we will be getting things started. Well, we're going to be starting off with a video titled Joe Biden Praises LA Mayor Bass or whatever her name is. We watched her freeze up yesterday, and for some reason she's getting praises from old man Walter. He's also praising Governor Newsom for response to the California wildfires. I don't even know what that means because they're not doing shit. So I don't know. It's a shit show by old man Walter. Then we got a video titled Alec Baldwin sues prosecutors and the sheriff's officials over a Rust case. So not only did Alec Baldwin just get away with shooting somebody, but he's going to turn around and sue him for some money too. Well, that's nice. That's real nice. Then we got a shapeshifter activist that boasted about a loophole which allowed him to try and change his gender marker on his Florida driver's license, but that didn't last very long since they wanted to make a TikTok video and go viral over being a piece of shit. Then we got a video titled Supreme Court to hear arguments on fate of TikTok. Then we got a video we'll probably play back to back with. It's titled SCOTUS Hears TikTok Ban Case. Now that was a 2.5 hour video. Obviously we're not going to watch that. We're going to watch like the last, it's not even worth, it's not that it's not worth watching. There's nothing to watch. It's an audio clip with a still image, but we're going to hear about 4 or 5 minutes of the audio to hear what the Supreme Court is saying about the TikTok ban. Apparently it's going to get moved till Monday. They didn't complete their task there, so as far as I know, there hasn't been any decisions made because they're supposed to go back on Monday, I believe, and continue on. So we're going to hear a couple minutes from their final arguments. Then we got a video titled CNN blaming no water for fires on homeowners using water. So like we just heard, the White House was blaming there was too many fires at once, and that's why there's no water. Well, CNN is saying that homeowners trying to protect their home by throwing water on their lawn was one of their examples. Because of that, that's why they ain't got water. I don't know, just more excuses. Then we got an update to the fires and all of that. It's titled LA area wildfires killed 10 and burned 10,000 structures. In that video, they talk about a potential arsonist that was arrested. I keep hearing about homeless people starting fires and looting and doing crazy stuff. They also have an interview with a family that had supposedly just lost their house and everything, but the whole interview seems very fake and staged. Obviously, there's people that lost their home, lost everything they got, devastated, right? But in this interview that they show, it looks fake to me. But anyways, then we got a video titled Trump sentenced to unconditional discharge in New York criminal trial. I'd never heard of unconditional discharge before. It's kind of like, you know, you like point at her unders. You're like, what's that? She's like, it's unconditional discharge. Anyways, I had to look it up. It basically means that you're not going to be punished in any kind of way other than you got a new title. And so that's what they just did to President Trump. They get to call him a felon, and literally that's it. They're not even charging him fines or anything. That is so unheard of. Then we got a video titled An Injustice. Trump addresses New York sentencing hearing after prosecution put down. We might play these videos back to back because the second video is the audio recording of President Trump speaking in the courtroom after sentencing. And then the last little bit of our news is titled How Young is Too Young for Tattoos? Talking about a 9-year-old. They got a flag tattooed on him. Apparently they went in looking to get a Trump tattoo. I think tattooing a 9-year-old is no. I don't think that's the way to go. I don't care about permission slips or any of that. What does a 9-year-old know about what they want? Now, an American flag, I mean, I guess if you're going to get something, there you go. But 9, you don't know what you want at 9 years old. We know that about gender crap. Tattoos are the same way. I think it's wrong, but either way, that's the last little bit of the news. Then we got 2 funny videos of the day. First one's titled Hilarious Standoff, and our official funny video of the day is titled Possible Leads on Who Caused These Cali Fires. All of that's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat and see how you hooligans are doing today. What is up, everyone, over on jeffmaclive.com. What's up, Live Review? What's up, Guess MJ? What's up, Tom? What's up, Russell? What's up, 10 Man? What's up, Jay Spray? What's up, Snooks? What's up, Hair Juicer? What's up, Breeze Bayou? What's up, Jamie? What's up, Astro Hammer? Happy freedom, you hooligans. Appreciate all of you guys being on the website. And what is up, everyone over on Rumble? Breeze by you were first today. I appreciate you racing in the chat. What's up, Rappy? What's up, MU? What's up, Too Old to Care? Happy freedom, you hooligans. What's up, Pumpkin? Appreciate you being here. What's up, Patriot Dad? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Energy Woman? Happy freedom to you. Let me see here. Scrolling through. You guys are all waiting on me, and I'm late all the damn time. I know. Let's see here. Thank you so much, Patriot Dad, for that $1 donation over on Rumble. I appreciate all the support. Thank you. It says, much love, hooligans. What a badass. Let's see here. What's up, Holly? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Jeffro? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Dutton? What's up, Mr. Satan? Happy freedom. What's up, Screaming Eagle? What's up, Grind? What's up, Bill Clay? Happy freedom, you hooligans. Let me see here. Holy. Thank you so much, Jeffro, for that $5 donation over on Rumble. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. It says, I feel for all who are in the way of the fire. Hope everyone who is affected are taken care of. Absolutely, Jeffro. Thank you so much for this support. And thank you so much, Patriot Dad, for that other $1 donation. I appreciate you, Patriot Dad. It says, happy freedom, Jeff Mac. Happy freedom to you, Patriot Dad. What's up, Wayward? Happy freedom to you. Appreciate you joining us here. Let me see. Make sure we get everybody. I know you guys were just here for the press briefing. Appreciate you making your way back. What's up, Shroomish? Happy freedom to you. Don't forget, hit that thumbs up over on Rumble. And what is up, everyone watching over on Kick? Happy freedom to you. People coming through. And what's up, everyone over here on Twitch? What's up, Tony Bridge? Happy freedom to you. And what's up, everyone over here on the Commie platform? What's up, Bullseye? What's up, Rodden? What's up, Christopher? What's up, Lenny? Happy freedom to you. What's up, HG? What's up, Mike? What's up, Lisa? Happy freedom. What's up, Lone Wolf? Appreciate you joining us. What's up, Scott? Happy freedom to you. You sound a little better. I am a little bit better. I'm just congested in my chest, but at least I don't have body aches or anything else anymore. I'm getting there. Let's see. What's up, Raider Nation? Happy freedom. And what's up, everyone watching over on X? Wayward and Breeze by you. Appreciate you, hooligans, being omnipresent. What's up, everything? Happy freedom to you. 18 was my rule for my child when he was growing up. By the time he was 18, he decided he didn't want a tattoo. Yeah, 9 years old is that's too young. That's too young to be tattooing kids. I just don't believe in it. What is this? Get some. Holy. Yeah, I could probably throw it on the screen here. Why you use that old ass photo of me? I'm trying to think. Everybody probably can't even see it. It's too small. Ah, man, that's what she said. Oh well. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and get into things. We're going to start off with this first video here. It's titled Joe Biden Praises LA Mayor Bass I don't know what this person's name is. She was a short little woman with the curly blondish brown hair who stood there and did nothing as the reporter kept asking her over and over again about why they don't have water for the fire, why aren't they putting these fires out, why aren't they doing anything to help anybody, and she just stood there silent. Now, like I said, old man Walter, he's praising her. Once again, this is titled Joe Biden Praises LA Mayor Bass or whatever, Governor Newsom for response to the California wildfires. Hit that thumbs up over on Rumble and let's get this rolling.
We're going to be going back to Congress asking for some more help on some of this stuff. And I hope they're ready to step up because we can afford it. And like I said, we have a little infrastructure bill that's over $1 trillion. It's going to be able to help a little bit. We have done a lot in terms of what we're going to do in terms of providing for this rebuilding of communities. And so I think the most important thing we have to do, those of us sitting around this table and on the screen, is explain in simple, straightforward language what the capacity we have is, how we're using that capacity, and what capacity we don't have that we need. And things from just all these, in crisis, rumors and fear spread very quickly. And the most important thing is to let's just bring this down in an area, be honest with people, what's at stake, but be straightforward with them. What can be done and how we're going to get it done. So I thank you all very much. I'm proud of the job you're all doing, and I'm quite frankly proud of the job the local officials in California are doing. I've spent a lot of time with the governor and the mayor of Los Angeles and others. You know, they're doing everything that we ask of them and beyond, and so we're stepping up as best we can. Any of my colleagues around the table or on the screen want to add anything before we close this out?
That mullet's growing in nicely. Well, old man Walter over here giving thank yous to people that don't deserve it. I like how he tries to push them. Oh, you need to be straightforward with the American people. Try not to lie to them too much this time when you're talking to them about their houses burning down. Oh, okay. All right. Congratulations to those that aren't doing shit. I don't understand that, but it's old man Walter, so what do you expect? Next up, we got Alec Baldwin sues prosecutors and the sheriff's officials over Russ case. Now, this is like the longest ongoing story forever. It's just years covering this Russ story. I don't know what update we're on with this. But now we're at the point where Alec Baldwin's pretty much got away with it. And now he's going to turn around and start suing people and make money off of this situation. Why not? It's coming up next. But first, we're going to read through the chat and see what you hooligans think about old man shit your pants. Guess I'm stupid boy. I know. He's styling with that mullet, though. He just needs those aviator glasses. He'll be on his way. He thinks he's Tom Cruise. Breeze by you. He's proud of all the stuff that they are not doing. They're evil, traitors, and nasty. Yeah, and maybe that's why he is giving them thanks. He's like, thanks for not lifting a finger and watching all your constituents burn alive. That's like I don't know what it was. I don't think it was the Weather Channel. I don't know what it was. Some news agency was trying to show the fires and apparently showed human remains and didn't even realize it until people pointed it out. I just saw the video right before we went live. It's like this kind of skeleton sort of situation, and they're like zooming in on it, but then they zoom past it to where you just see rubble and stuff. I don't know. Fire is the number one topic right now. It's hard to find anything other than fire. So what are they really distracting us from? Jamie, I'm glad to have you with us. Breeze by you, 9 years old, way too young. Yeah, wait till we get to that story. It's kind of conflicting. It's a good tattoo, but at the same time, you shouldn't be getting tattoos at 9. And then the person that did it, well, he'd do anything for money. We'll put it like that. So next, Too Old to Care was first on Rumble? Oh, I don't know. When I looked, I saw Breeze by you, but maybe I didn't scroll up enough. Glad you made it home safe, Zero. Thank you for joining us. Guess they're actors. They were acting burnt. Nah, that wasn't an actor. That was something. I don't know if it was specifically from the Cali fires, but that was a body of sorts. Holly, it's child abuse. Yeah, I agree. You shouldn't be tattooing 9-year-olds. Draw my chapstick. Peyton, happy freedom to you. Daughter's Roddy bumped my front tooth loose today. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I hate teeth stuff. I hate dealing with dentists. It's all a big scam for money because they know you need your teeth. Shouldn't cost as much as it does. Pumpkin, Walter needs to go home. He can hand out $1 bill to everyone in Delaware. Yeah. It'd take him the rest of his life to do it, though. Watch him shuffle down the street. Gotta put reflector coat on him. That's alright, Energy Woman. Spelling is for sissies. Northern Michigan is a skating rink. Cars going bump in the intersections. Yeah, that's how it is here too. It's snowing like crazy. My Subaru does fine in it. Everybody else is just stupid. I don't know what else to say about it. I'm not the only person on the road with 4-wheel drive, but I might be the only person on the road with a thinking brain around here. Jeffro, just another way for New Scum to rob more money. Yeah, as soon as the fires die down, they'll try and figure out a budget for water systems and fire, God only knows, resources and stuff like that. And they'll take all that money and they'll stick it right in their pockets, just like the homeless situation, the alcoholics, the drug addicts, and all the other problems they got. Put that money right in their pocket. Holly, what do you think Walter will do when his term is over? I mean, the only thing we know for sure is he'll be shitting his pants and not working very hard. You know, that's guaranteed. I'm not sure what he's going to do. I assume he'll go back to Delaware, but who knows? Maybe he'll start lobbying other people. He'll start handing them doll hairs and shaking some Chinese hands and, you know, getting some laws passed that we shouldn't have passed. We'll see how it goes. Jay Spray, it's sloppy, that's for sure. Yeah, it's a mess outside. Happy Freedom Live Review. I mean, I'm not all the way back, but I do feel a lot better than I have all week. I appreciate you being with us, Livid Review. Viola. Yep, you're not wrong on that. LA City Council meetings will be lit. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. There's going to be people mad. Wait till you see our funny video today. It's so good and it's relevant to the fires. Jeff Rowe, wonder how badly the Dems will lose in LA next election. MAGA better get into gear for the next election cycle. It'd be interesting to see California start turning red. There's got to be enough people there getting tired of the nonsense to start voting red. Start voting accordingly. Paid, looks like we got snow all week. Great, gonna get some shovel time in. Yeah, and it's supposed to be like a high of 16 all next week. It's not good. Let's see here, gotta kick some bots out. Bam. I don't know who's got time to be making all these bots and stuff. Waste of time. What's up, Jeremiah? Happy freedom to you. Yeah, I think so too, Jeremiah. It don't take no 2-3 weeks to count the votes and shit. I agree. Cheeky Chop, should I hit up Taco Bell tonight? Absolutely. You gotta get the Diable sauce, and you gotta tell them. So there's a trick with Taco Bell. If you tell them that you just want sauce, they're only gonna give you so many sauces per item in the bag, right? It's like McDonald's, like when you get barbecue sauce. It's the same thing. But if you tell them you want a handful of sauce, these miners that are making minimum wage and don't give a shit about anything, they will just get the big grip on this sauce and just fill your bag full of sauce and not charge you 50 cents a packet like they're supposed to start doing. So that's my suggestion. You go through Taco Bell, you tell them I want a handful of sauce, and then they have to give the customer what they want. And so that's the way you do it. That's my little secret right there. That's how I got 2 freezer bags full of sauce right now in the fridge. When I'm not lifting Klaus Daniels, I'm lifting that Diable sauce. That's how you go. It's a hooligan workout. What's up, Steve S? Happy freedom to you. Does Hunter lose Secret Service protection when old man Walter leaves office? I don't think so. I think any ex-president and their family receive Secret Service protection for life. Once they leave office, they get it for life. Like, old man Walter will never drive a car again. He'll never have a regular phone again. He's kind of got what he's got till he kicks the bucket. It won't be at presidential level as far as I know, but they will have their own security team and all of that. What's up, Slenderella? Happy freedom to you. Well, thank you, Slenderella. I'll check in just a moment. What's up, V7? Happy freedom. Cheek Chops, are you addicted to Diable? I mean, when you got Chris Hansen, sending you videos telling you you might be a little bit too much on that Diable, you might be addicted, but that's okay. There's worse things in the world than Diable. V7, the Taco Bell chick used to make me 5-pound burritos. See, the Taco Bell chicks now have wieners, so you got to be scared. You got to be cautious. That's what I mean. Not scared. You got to be cautious of them. Don't ask them for a date, but ask them to grill it on both sides. It's free. So just make sure you do that. What's up, everything? Welcome back. Happy freedom to you. Russell, 2 inches is hell at 90 miles an hour, though. I mean, that's what I told her, but... Russell, 2 inches of snow is still like a sunny day for us here in Michigan. I don't know how much snow we got right now, but 2 inches is a dream for us. Jesus loves this livid review. I'm not reading that out loud. That is hilarious. Jay Spray, that's not a taco, that's a hot dog. Well, hooligans, we're moving forward here. This next video is titled Alec Baldwin Sues Prosecutors and Sheriff's Officials Over Rust Case. Now, like I said, we covered this so many times. I won't be able to show you the first 2 seconds of this video because it's a clip from Rust. And it's a person holding a gun, and all the algorithms will think I'm showing people getting shot and stuff. And so I can't show that part, but you'll be able to hear everything, and then once it's off the screen, I'll flip the video over. But either way, covering some more of these Rust stuff going on. This got to be the 30th or 40th Rust update that we've had. Come on, thing, why are you buffering? Like old man Walter's brain. All right, here we go. Hit that thumbs up over on Rumble, and let's get this rolling. Like I said, we're going to play the first couple seconds, and then I'll flip it over to the screen.
Actor Alec Baldwin sued New Mexico prosecutors and sheriff's office officials Thursday. The lawsuit filed in Santa Fe alleged malicious prosecution against him for the 2021 fatal shooting of cinematographer Helena Hutchins on the movie set of Rust. It comes after a judge dramatically dismissed Baldwin in July during his manslaughter trial after ruling Special Prosecutor Carrie Morrissey and the sheriff's office deliberately withheld evidence from Baldwin on the source of a live round that killed Hutchins. Baldwin's attorneys say in the complaint for the best part of 3 years, New Mexico officials pursued Baldwin for political and personal goals in a, quote, conspiracy to bring him to trial. They listed actions such as Special Prosecutor Andrea Reeves' comment that the case could help her political career as a Republican state representative, to Morrissey presenting, quote, false and incomplete testimony to win a grand jury indictment. Morrissey said prosecutors had long known Baldwin would file a retaliatory civil lawsuit and said she would look forward to appearing in court. Reeb and the Santa Fe Sheriff's Office did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Legal proceedings following Hutchins' death saw the movie's weapons handler Hannah Gutierrez convicted of involuntary manslaughter and sentenced to prison. Baldwin, also a Rust producer, has always said live rounds should not have been allowed on set, and he was not responsible for weapons safety.
Oh man, so it sounds like we will have another follow-up video on the Rust incident or case or whatever we're calling it at this point. See if he actually makes some money off of it or not now that he got away with shooting somebody. But he never pulled the trigger, he said. That was the biggest thing over and over again. But he never pulled the trigger. Okay, well then why is it still in the fucking news? Why is it like 2 years later and we're still covering these videos? I don't get that. Either way, it doesn't sound like justice has been served. Otherwise, we wouldn't be playing these games right now. Next up, we got a shapeshifter activist boasted about a loophole which allowed him to change his gender marker on his Florida license. Now, when he went on TikTok and made a viral video bragging about this and telling other shapeshifters to do the same thing, which is pretty much committing fraud, Florida found out and they reversed all that bullshit. Big old slap in his shapeshifter face. Either way, it's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about Alec Baldwin and these moves that he's making. Russell, it's snowing here now. Screw this shit. Sorry, Russell. I'm sorry. I should have kept the snow up here. My bad. Guess some actors getting away with stuff pisses me off. Yeah, because they're actors. That's why I always think it's so weird about them going to trial and stuff. They're like, oh, look at him cry. What do you mean? He's in 15 different movies crying. What are you talking about? This is just another movie for them. And they got the money to handle court and all of that and have lawyers and whatever. If you ain't rich and famous, you just perish in court most of the time. I don't know. I don't feel bad for these actors at all. Breeze by you got 10 inches of snow here. Getting another 4, it looks like. Already over 1, and it's snowing hard. Sorry to hear that, Breeze by you. I have the windows covered up, so I don't know what it looks like outside. I went outside earlier, and there was snow, but that's all I know. I don't know anything else. It was too scary to keep watching. I had to cover up the windows. Zero, I heard they had snow down in Florida. I've heard of Florida getting snow before, but only in the northern part of Florida. I haven't heard anybody ringing the bells, though. Normally, if Florida or Texas gets snow, then everybody goes into a state of emergency and all this stuff, and I never know what to think of that at all. It's like a light dusting, and then the news is like, 54 people have died today, and it's like, holy shit. Like, I don't know. We get 11 feet of snow here overnight, and it's like we might have 2 people die or something. And I understand we're prepared for it, and Florida's not, but I always get mixed feelings when I hear that stuff. A lot of it is people going outside to fuck around, and then they get messed up because they've never seen snow before, but either way. I'll check it out, Zero. Thank you for letting me know. Whoa, what the hell just happened? Screaming Eagle, Alec is an arrogant piece of shit. Yeah, I agree. I like that video of him sitting there crying in court, though. Like, yeah. Ghostly, 1 bullet, 2 people. Dude is responsible. Yep. Paid, and Alec gave out the order to Hollywood to do some very sad things. Then you'll find out and you'd cry. Yeah, I believe it. All those people in Hollywood are corrupt. Energy Woman humiliation ritual. I'm sure he'll bounce back fully. Oh, that could be. That, I feel like they usually do more for humiliation rituals, though. Instead of just accusing somebody of shooting someone. Normally they make them dress up like clowns and gay people and stuff like that. Go do a bunch of weird stuff for like a month long. Then all of a sudden they're just normal again and have all this success. Puffin stuff. Guns don't kill people. Alec Baldwin does. That's right. Mary Todd, dismiss the case, Judge. Baldwin should have to go to jail. That's right. I don't know why all of us are on the same page. But everybody over there, this must be the dollar signs. That's all I could think of. It's got to be the dollar signs. Viola, is it true that his house in LA burned? I don't know. I don't know the specifics of whose all house burned in California and that. I hear a lot of people talking about it, but I don't know how to confirm any of that stuff. And so it's hard to be like, yeah, this list of people all lost their house when I can't confirm it, you know? So I don't really know if he actually lost his house or not. What's up, Hooligans Island? Happy freedom to you. Yeah, my Wesco cup. I've been getting Wesco coffee lately. Today it's giving me life. I got warm coffee today. I was actually able to get some of the shit out of my lungs. What's up, Gen X? Happy freedom to you. Thank you, Gen X. V7 is 28 here, and it feels like 64. What does 28 feels like 64? I never felt that before. It's about the same temperature here, but it feels like death outside, not like 64. What's up, Mr. V? Happy freedom to you. You need snow in Utah? We got a ton. I'll give you a good deal on it. You gotta come pick it up, though. The Subaru can't make it. Breeze by you. I lived in Atlanta for 2 years, and it snowed a dusting one time, and the whole place shut down. People were freaking out, and I was laughing. Yeah, Breeze by you, and that's the thing, is like, I try not to make light of that situation, but we get the snowpocalypse here, and nobody gives a shit, but you get 2 centimeters of snow in Florida, and people are dying left and right, and it's like, I don't know what to think about that. It just feels silly to me when that happens, and it's not, it's a big deal, but I'm just so unserious all the damn time. Puffin stuff, dropping the boobies in the chat, very nice. We're going to get into this next one. Like I said, this is a shapeshifter activist who boasted about a loophole which allowed him to change his gender marker on his Florida license. Now, there was some blowback for this, but this person in this video who is terribly obnoxious, they were all psyched about it until the blowback happened. We got both this individual being excited and the consequences for them doing this loophole. Now, before we get into this, I want to remind you guys really quick, if you would like to participate in Free Speech Saturday, make sure you post all of your memes over on Discord or on jeffmaclive.com. Just hop in the group chats on either platform. You'll see the tabs labeled memes. Drop what you got and we'll shout you out, as we're making Saturdays more fun. Alright, so we're going to get into this. Let me figure out.
I just got my gender change.
Just hold the hell up. I told you, it's like the most obnoxious voice ever. Anyways, we're going to play this in full screen so you can see this individual in their entirety. We're going to play this, and then we're going to show the blowback afterwards. Either way, hit that thumbs up over on Rumble, and let's get this rolling.
On my driver's license in the free fucking state of Florida. My God, Ron DeSantis would be screaming right now if he knew about this. This little license now says female on it. It doesn't. Oh.
I can't show you because then you would know way too much about me, but it says female.
This was the last step in changing all of my documents.
This was not easy. You're not even supposed to be able to do this in this state.
Here's the loophole. Here's the loophole. Listen up.
If you're replacing your driver's license, not renewing it, but replacing it because you lost it, they have to take all of your information from what they consider a primary document. A passport is considered a primary document, and you can self-identify on your passport, which means, loophole, you can self-identify on your Florida fucking driver's license. So my passport says female, and I showed it to them, and they made a bunch of copies, and they had a whole fucking team meeting in the back. I shit you not, there were 8 people that were like looking at it, looking at me, looking back, and I swear, I was like, I just felt like I was gonna cry. It's so humiliating sometimes to be in a hostile state. Like, if you live in a hostile state, you know what I'm talking about. I don't know how possible it is to do this in every other red state. I don't know the loopholes everywhere else as well as I know them here. Then on the way out of the DMV, a guy rolled down the window of his Ford F-250 and yelled, "Nice dick," at me. So, you know, good things don't last forever, but that license is gonna last 10 years. I am wishing all trans people a positive and easy get your documents in order December. And Ron DeSantis, you can suck my trans dick.
Okay, so I'm sure you deeply enjoyed that. I don't know about what he was talking about, 10 years. Is your driver's license in Florida just good for 10 years? I wish it was like that here in Michigan. Pretty sure I got to renew it like every couple of years, not 10 years. But either way, this individual obviously is very excited about committing fraud and stuff like that. Now, they received this letter as like a response to the video, and I don't know how these people found this individual's address or anything like that, but it says, please let me try this again. Please be advised that the sex identifier on the replacement Florida driver's license issued to you December 20th, 2024 was improperly changed from male to female. According to that license, is invalid and has been canceled. This cancellation only applies to the physical credential issued on December 20th, 2024. You are still permitted to operate a motor vehicle, so on and so forth. So they still have the ability to drive as of right now, but all that little goofy thing that they were all excited about, oh, ha, ha, they got one on Ron DeSantis, that's all been undone now. And they pretty much gave them a thank you for finding the error. In the captions of this post, it says the FLHSMV responded by sending him a letter thanking him for bringing attention to this error and promised actions to address it. So that happened, committed fraud. As far as I know, they're not being charged with anything. They should be charged with fraud. They tried to lie on a government document. That's a felony, I'm pretty sure. And I think they should be held accountable, especially because they were trying to teach other people to do it. But, you know, that's just my opinion, I guess, and who cares what they think about that. Either way, next up we got Supreme Court to hear arguments on fate of TikTok. We might play these videos back to back. This first one is kind of a summary of what to expect with the hearing at the Supreme Court. We've been keeping up to date with this. TikTok is supposed to be banned on the 19th. Obviously, the inauguration day is on the 20th. TikTok wants to have everything delayed till after Inauguration Day in hopes that President Trump will undo the ban and all of that. So when they put in the proposal to delay the ban, that's when it landed on Supreme Court's desk. And so they had a hearing today. As far as I know, they did not make a decision. We're going to listen to the last 5 minutes of the hearing. There's no image, or it's just a still image. There's no video. It's fairly entertaining enough to where it's not going to make you fall asleep, and it'll help us understand how the Supreme Court is talking about TikTok and why they think they should ban it, because it sounds very different than what the reporters tell us. The reporters are always telling us about the content in China and blah, 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 but the Supreme Court is talking about it like a free speech matter and how it influences other Americans and stuff like that. They have a different tone about it. So like I said, the first video is a summary of what's going to happen with the TikTok ban, if it goes through or doesn't go through. And then the second video we'll be covering is listening to the Supreme Court talk about potentially banning TikTok. And like I said, they don't make a decision. They're supposed to resume Supreme Court Monday to continue talking about it. Either way, all of that is coming up next. But first, we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about this shapeshifter, talking all that shit, bragging, trying to teach other people how to commit fraud, as well as the blowback that happened because they went and made that video. Oh, I appreciate you here, Juicer. Thank you for being here. Russell, the sexiest woman at the DMV should have to check sex. Maybe, Russell, I don't know, because if you get to, like, Oregon, the sexiest woman in the DMV is probably going to be a dude. So, you know, then you're in a weird situation. So, I don't know. We need a little bit more structure than that, Russell, I think. What's up, Trigger Crazy? Happy freedom to you. I heard you. I didn't even think about that. I hope not. I hope not. I don't know. Twitch might get after me because I was talking about shapeshifters. We'll see. I might have said too much. Might have been too frank. Not enough Jeff. Holy trigger crazy. I don't think they're lethal, but I don't know about the hormone blockers. I don't think you should be able to go get them like the same way you can go buy a Pepsi. Breeze by you. This is a mentally ill man. Holy crap. Yeah, you are not wrong. That obnoxious behavior. And then he turns around and says he's in a hostile state. Oh, I hate living in a hostile state. What are you talking about? Like, nobody's doing anything to you. You're trying to commit fraud and people don't want you to break the law. That's all that's going on. Russell, he's a mental basket case. Not wrong. You are not wrong. I just wish he wasn't so obnoxious. It's unnecessary. I just feel it's unnecessary. Sure crazy. Was that Dylan? No, it's a carbon copy. I don't know what its name was. It's not Dylan Mulvaney though. Some new shapeshifter. Thank you so much, Patriot Dad, for that $1 donation over on Rumble. I appreciate you, Patriot Dad. Thank you. Says, I think a lot of dummies are getting red pilled in LA. I think you're right, Patriot Dad. I mean, the fires has got to be a wake up call. Bill Clay, he should be a firefighter in LA. I don't think he's willing to work that hard. To Craig, happy freedom to you. Coke, no Pepsi. What's up, Appeal to Heaven? Happy freedom to you. Screaming Eagle, that was the definition of long-haired freaky people. I don't know. Those shapeshifters, they're all gross. That's all I know. Craig, why is this person not institutionalized? Oh, because they're stunning and brave, Craig, don't you know? Stunning and brave. Old man Walter let him pull his man tits out right there on the White House lawn, and they'd celebrate it. That's the way the world is for another 10 days. And then it's all out the window. What's up, MC? Happy freedom to you. Aco, disturbing as fuck. I agree. What's up, Irish? Happy freedom. As they say, loose lips sinks ships. Yep, they thought they were really doing something. Florida was like, oh, you know what? They should hold him accountable. That's what I really want. They should hold him accountable for committing fraud. But at least they sent him a letter and was like, hey, by the way, we just canceled that driver's license. That is not valid. What's up, Lisa? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Agent O? Happy freedom to you. Hooligans Island. I'm gonna register as a hooligan then. You probably get away with it. It's not, it's the infringement on the other people. You ain't infringing on anybody by being a hooligan. Putting a dress on though, yeah, you're starting to walk the line. Lone Wolf, we have to get the enhanced this year. I've had the enhanced driver's license 6 years or something like that, maybe a little bit longer. I've had it for a long time. I got it originally so I could go to Canada and Mexico and stuff, but I found out I can't go to Canada. My driver's license lets me go there. My criminal record don't, though, unfortunately. I can go to Mexico, though, but, hey, Mexico's coming here, so why should I bother? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's special about the enhanced driver's license. I know they got some sort of near frequency ID in it. You got to have a special sleeve that you put your ID in. I don't know. I put my pistol license in it too, so whenever I got to hand somebody my ID, I got my pistol license right there. I got a license for whatever I need. V7, they shut down most institutions in the 60s. See, we should just bring them back. Got to make those institutions great again. Zero, they're mentally ill. Yeah. Yep. Holy. Guess how do they think they're normal? Because they're a victim. They're a victim. I don't know how to explain it. That's why he can say goofy stuff like he's in a hostile state. I'd like to know, has he ever been attacked specifically for being a shapeshifter and all of that? Probably not. So what makes it a hostile state? Because they won't let him just do whatever he wants and breaks whatever laws he wants? That's what makes it a hostile state? Oh, poor guy. That poor fella. should go sit down somewhere. He'd be all right. Like I said, next up, we got Supreme Court to hear arguments on the fate of TikTok. We'll play this really quick, and we'll see how we'll go about this. Like I said, we got this video is going to summarize the potential ban for TikTok, and this next video is SCOTUS hearing arguments on what exactly is the plan here. Now, we're not going to listen to all 2.5 hours of the SCOTUS arguments. We're going to hear the last 5 minutes of it. So, like I said, we'll get through the summary, and we'll see if we'll play the second video back to back or if we'll hop in the chat first. But let's get this first one pulled up really quick.
Supreme Court.
All right. Like I said, this first one is titled Supreme Court to hear arguments on the fate of TikTok. Hit that thumbs up over on Rumble, and let's get this rolling.
Supreme Court will hear arguments in a last-ditch effort by TikTok's parent company ByteDance to avoid a ban set to take effect in 9 days. The High Court being asked to weigh the First Amendment against serious national security concerns. Some say this case is more than just losing your favorite influencers and could impact free speech in the years to come. News Nation's Tom Dempsey is outside the Supreme Court this morning. Tom, what are we really talking about? Because this is more than just punching likes and clicks and swiping left.
Yeah, this is one of the most important Supreme Courts ever cases dealing with social media. 170 million Americans use TikTok, and its future will be at stake today. Oral arguments begin in just under 2 hours here at the Supreme Court building. As part of the oral arguments today, the legal team for ByteDance, which is the Chinese parent company that owns TikTok, will be making the argument that a law passed by Congress last year violates First Amendment rights. That law requires ByteDance to either sell the app to an approved buyer by January 19th or shut it down here in the United States. TikTok's legal team says the government is violating its users' First Amendment rights since the app allows people to post their own videos, views, and opinions. But the government says it's not targeting speech, but a national security threat, claiming that China could force ByteDance to hand over personal data of millions of Americans. In a court filing, the lead attorney argues that the lead attorney for the Justice Department argues that China's well-documented history of forcing companies operating China, including TikTok, to carry out the government's directives and refrain from disclosing those actions. But in response, ByteDance's legal team claimed that the law would allow Congress to ban them from operating TikTok explicitly because they refuse to censor views Congress doesn't like. Something that's important to note with all this, for any viewers who might use TikTok, this doesn't necessarily mean that the app is just going to go away. It won't be offered anymore if this law is enacted on app stores. Users will still be able to use the app, but they won't be able to update to newer versions, and they'll eventually not be able to use the app once the company starts shutting down its services here in the United States. Nick?
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to...
Okay. So what's really interesting about that is that as we have been covering updates on the whole TikTok ban, waiting to get to the 19th to see if they actually get banned or not, they've been talking about a lot of different angles on why they should ban it. At first they used to talk about the content, but they realized they couldn't say that anymore because TikTok content is everywhere. It's everywhere. All the videos you see on X, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, any of that dumb shit, they're all from TikTok. You see the TikTok logos in the corners and all that stuff. Like 70% of all videos on all platforms are coming from TikTok. So obviously it's not the content, because otherwise all the other platforms wouldn't have the content. So it wasn't about that. They realized that wasn't working. So then they started talking about China being bad and all that kind of stuff, which is always a go-to for the government, right? China's bad, and China probably is bad, but that's a really easy pitch for them. And so they say that. Well, it's really hard to believe that when we got Chinese spy balloons flying over for 3 days. Nobody gives a shit about that. We got Chinese nationals coming across the border. Nobody gives a shit about that. And you can't just walk away from China. You have to get a green light from the government, the CCP, to let you go, because you're pretty much an asset of the government. So they let millions of Chinese people just come across the border illegally just because. China doesn't just give shit away for free. They're here strategically. And the government don't care about that. The government don't care when they're hacking your phone, when they're hacking President Trump's phone. They don't care about that either. But TikTok, oh no, that's a big deal. Wait, it's only a big deal after the election, because during the election, not only was President Trump, but Hyena Harris and Joe Biden both got TikTok accounts. while they were trying to tell us that federal agents aren't allowed to have TikTok on their phone. Nobody on Capitol Hill is allowed to have TikTok on their phone. But the people running for president, they can run campaigns, ad campaigns, post stupid videos all over TikTok, and that's totally fine. None of that shit makes any kind of sense. And then here in this video, they finally say, oh, you know what? The big argument for this is that Congress and them want to take down TikTok because they can't control the censorship like they can on all these other platforms, where they can have unified censorship, where there's a red word on one platform, that's a red word on all platforms. Well, it's not the same for TikTok. TikTok does have censorship, but it's not uniform with all the rest of the social media platforms, and we all know that's really why the government wants to get rid of it, because the servers are based in Texas. They're not even from China. The ownership is with China, which is obviously a problem, but they don't care about Temu, or I can't think what the other one's called. Either way, any of those other Chinese apps and communication software and stuff, they have no problem with that, but they got a problem with TikTok. Doesn't make sense. So like I said, we got this video here from SCOTUS. This case was viewed today. There was no decisions made, and they're supposed to pick up on Monday. We're going to listen to the last 5 minutes of this hearing. It's titled SCOTUS Hears TikTok Ban Case. Now, like I said, there is no video for this. This is just audio, but it is entertaining enough to where you're not going to fall asleep while listening to this. So let's go ahead and get this pulled up really quick. We're going to listen to this, and then we will be hopping in the chat. If I can get this figured out here. All right. Like I said, we're going to get through this. This is just audio, so you're not going to see anything on the screen. About 5 minutes of this, and then we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about all this that we're covering. Don't forget, hit that thumbs up over on Rumble, and let's get this rolling.
General, if I understood correctly, under President-elect's first term, he passed an executive order requiring divestiture, correct?
That's right.
And this, that was challenged in court and state as a result of him exceeding his executive power to do that. But this bill followed a bipartisan investigation, correct?
Yes, that's right.
I am a little concerned that a suggestion that a president-elect or anyone else should not enforce the law when a law is in effect and has prohibited a certain action, that a company would choose to ignore enforcement on any assurance other than the change in that law. But putting that aside, on the 19th, if it doesn't shut down, there is a violation of law, correct?
Yes.
And whatever the new president does doesn't change that reality for these companies.
That's right.
How long is the statute of limitations in effect, assuming that they violated it that day and later continued to violate it? But how long does the statute of limitations exist for a civil violation of this sort?
It would be a 5-year statute of limitations.
Thank you.
Thank you, counsel. A rebuttal?
Thank you, Mr. Chief Justice, for points, all of which go to why we think this law would fail, whether you applied intermediate scrutiny or strict scrutiny. I'd like to begin with the least restrictive alternative of simply prohibiting TikTok Incorporated from disseminating any of the sensitive user data to anyone, including ByteDance, under the threat of massive penalties. That is definitely a less restrictive alternative. Now, my friend pointed to the NSA negotiations. Well, the sensitive user data that we're talking about and that were of concern in the NSA negotiations were not the type of technical data that she's talking about. The NSA did allow certain types of non-sensitive technical data to go back and forth, but that wasn't anybody's concern. And as we say in page 23 of our briefs, they simply cut off the negotiations without ever raising those concerns. But to be clear, if that's a concern, sweep that into the ban too. Put in that non-sensitive technical data into the ban too. We'll deal with that. It's a lot better than simply being forced to shut down. So that is most definitely a less restrictive alternative that would address data security. We talked about the under-inclusiveness in Temu and Shein, the two large e-commerce sites. Justice Kagan, you might have seen Temu during the Super Bowl. It was heavily advertised. It's one of the most popular e-commerce applications in the United States. It's got 70 million users. Justice Sotomayor, you were asking what they collect. This is from Joint Appendix 339 to 343, the U.S.-China Economic and Security Commission Review Report. Shein relies on tracking and analyzing user data, draws on customer data and search history with the assistance of artificial intelligence algorithms. It requests users share their data and activity from other apps, including social media. So they apparently go into your social media apps and suck up all of the information. Because they're e-commerce apps, they take names, addresses, and credit card information. If you look at the privacy policies on their website, they collect location data. It looks like they might even collect, at some level, GPS location data. So they collect massive amounts of data. Point 3. Their mere covertness argument makes no sense for the reasons that the court explored. If mere covertness were the issue, a disclosure would make perfect sense. Yet they're not concerned about mere covertness. They're concerned, as my friend suggested, with getting Americans to argue with each other. Well, you know, as far as I can tell, that's what news organizations do in this country every single day. That's what we call editorial content. That's what we call content itself. And so it's trained directly on the content. But even if you thought somehow that the mere covertness were the issue, that definitely could be addressed through a risk disclosure. So the data sharing ban, the risk disclosure, those are obvious, less restrictive alternatives. And had the government considered them and rejected them, we would be in a different position. But if you look at this record, those are two less restrictive alternatives that the government did not address at all. Whether you apply strict scrutiny or intermediate scrutiny, that is fatal, because under both standards, restricting speech has to be the last resort, not the first one. And when you fail to consider less restrictive alternatives, you fail under either standard. My final substantive point is we absolutely think this court has the authority to enter an administrative stay. I didn't understand my friend to disagree with that. We think that given the enormity of this decision, given the complexity of this case, it would make perfect sense for this court to enter an administrative stay. I also think you could enter a preliminary injunction. Yes, likelihood of success is one standard, but you don't have to determine ultimate success. And as you do in other related contexts, like with respect to stays, you often make clear that you are not addressing the merits of the case. I think you could do that here. The bottom line, Your Honor, is this case ultimately boils down to speech. What we're talking about is ideas. And my friends on the other side, when you cut through everything else, are ultimately worried that the ideas that appear on the TikTok platform could in the future somehow manipulate Americans, could somehow persuade them, could somehow get them to think something that they ought not be thinking. Well, that whole notion is at war with the First Amendment. If the First Amendment means anything, it means that the government cannot restrict speech in order to protect us from speech. That's precisely what this law does from beginning to end, whether you look at its text, whether you look at the government's justifications in its brief, where they talk about being worried about speech criticizing our leaders or undermining democracy. It's what you see in the House report, which drains specifically on the dangers of misinformation, disinformation, and propaganda. And it's what you see in this legislative record writ large, which is saturated with objections to TikTok's existing content. We ask that you reverse the court below. Thank you.
Thank you, counsel. The case is submitted.
The Honorable Court is now adjourned until Monday next at 10 o'clock.
Okay, so like I was saying, the way that they talk about it at the Supreme Court is very different than how the reporters talk about it. They're talking about it in the sense of free speech, data harvesting, things like that. We already know Facebook does the same thing. Facebook was brought in before the Supreme Court. Facebook, Amazon, YouTube, I mean, it just goes on and on. They all do the same thing. They put these trackers on you, and when you leave the website, it follows you everywhere you go. It harvests all of your data. And not only that, but when you install an app on your phone, any app from the App Store, one of the first things you do is give it permission to obtain all of that information. It asks you for permission for your location, to use your files, to use your camera, just so on and so forth. You're giving it that approval. Not just TikTok, but every app you've ever installed on your phone. And it's not just those. When you turn your phone on for the very first time, you buy a phone, you pull it out of the box, you turn it on, first thing you do is agree to terms. And that means that all the built-in apps on your phone and whoever made your phone, they're also harvesting your data. And you agreed to it right when you signed into the phone for the very first time. So it's not really about TikTok. It's about control. That's what it's about. They don't care about us being hacked or targeted and harvested data and stuff. They don't go after Zuckerberg, who makes money off selling our data to the CCP. It's all about control, and that's what it is. And so we don't necessarily know if the ban's happening or not. If it does, it's going to happen on the 19th, right before Inauguration Day. If it doesn't, then, we'll see how it all shakes out. But either way, it sounds like things will be continuing on Monday, and we'll see if they decide on a ban or not. Next up, we got CNN blaming no water for fires on homeowners' water use. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about all this TikTok stuff. Sure, crazy shit. I got the Jeff Mac app. Yeah, we don't harvest your data, though. we don't do any of that. Breezes by you. They don't have control over it themselves. That's why they don't like it. Yep, it's true. That's why they just arrested the leader of Telegram. It's a very similar situation. And that story just disappeared. They picked up the guy who made Telegram and then stopped talking about it. I don't know if we'll ever hear from that guy again. And Zero, it sounds like they're mad because they can't censor speech. It's exactly what it sounds like. Russell, I like having oral arguments. It always turns out well. Well, not at the Supreme Court. Zero, so TikTok basically does what every other app does? Seems that way. Zero, how can America tell a foreign company what to do? Well, the thing is they'll just ban it out of the app stores. Now, on Android, that's not that big of a deal. You can go anywhere on the internet and install APKs onto your Android, which is the installation files for apps. You can get all kinds of apps that are not available in the App Store. Now, I don't suggest it. It's not safe. You got to turn off all kinds of security stuff to make it happen, but you can make it happen. It's no big deal. Over on an iPhone, you're unable to do that. There's a couple tricks to try and get unregulated apps on your iPhone, but they treat iPhone people like little babies, so they don't give you the ability to hardly do shit on an iPhone. They'd rather have Apple track you than anything else. And so it's hard to get apps from outside of the Apple Store onto an iPhone, but the new iPhones are supposed to be different. The EU is changing it, just like they changed the Apple iPhone charging port. Now they use Type-C just like Android does. That's because of the EU. The EU said that Apple has a monopoly on their apps, and because of that, the new iPhones will have to have the ability to install applications from outside the Apple App Store. Once that happens, then we'll have a little bit more freedom for iPhones. But all this is really just nonsense. It's all nonsense. They're just targeting TikTok because they can't control it. And it's not that TikTok is great. That's just the reality of the situation. Zero, there's a lot of businesses that started on TikTok, legit businesses. Also many Bible channels and good stuff. Yeah, Zero, you're right. But they don't care about any of that. They don't care about us at all. They care about their control. Trigger Crazy, sure, Jeff, sure. I'm trying, Trigger Crazy. Trying the best I can here. Appeal to Heaven debating on turning on the AI on phone when would like it to work for gaming but nothing else. I mean, it depends what kind of AI you're trying to turn on your phone, Appeal to Heaven, but there's so much AI out there. I don't know. It's very situational. Pumpkin, at this point it's too late to worry about data. They already have everyone's. Yeah, Pumpkin. I agree, and I don't know what part of my data would be so worthwhile. Most people don't do a whole lot of anything on their phone that's worth anything. So, I mean, yeah, your address, your, sensitive information, yeah, okay, that's obviously valuable to criminals. But the nasty photos you look at night, what is that going to do? What is China going to do with that? All the pictures of your wiener in your phone, what is China going to do with that? That doesn't... The dumb videos you download from the internet of cats doing crazy stuff, what is China going to do with that? What does that matter? How does that hurt us? They're going to attack us with catnip. That's what's going to happen. They're collecting this data and don't know how to fight us. Could you imagine what they're going to show up like? Taking our data randomly, trying to figure out a way to get us. They're going to show up looking like clowns. I'm not worried about it. What's up, Free Thinking Texan? Happy freedom to you. Ghostly, it's marketing data. That's what's valuable, so they can sell you stuff better. Yeah. And that's what most of that tracking stuff is for commercial purposes and monetization purposes. Big scary TikTok. It's gonna get us. Thank you so much, Energy Woman, for that $10 donation over on Rumble. I really appreciate the support. Thank you so much, Energy Woman. It says, keep healing and feeling stronger each day, and thanks for your work. P.S. Investigate, I don't know what that is, colostrum? It's a great gut healer. Well, thank you for the suggestion, and thank you for all the support, Energy Woman. I'm going to pull up a tab here so I can look this up after the live. Thank you, Energy Woman. Appeal to Heaven. I heard Beastie Boys on the radio driving yesterday. It's a new America already. Oh, Free Thinking Texan. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you got the question answered already, but yeah, that's what we were listening to. Just the last 5 minutes of the SCOTUS hearing today on the TikTok ban potential. What's up, Non-Woke? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Tree Herder? Happy freedom to you. Thank you so much, Patriot Dad, for that $1 donation over on Rumble. I appreciate the support. Thank you. It says, Jeff's having a shifty cold fun. Take care, brother. Thank you, Patriot Dad. Pumpkin, they're going to send robot cats after us. They better not. We'll send them to Ohio. Those Haitians, they'll eat anything. They don't want these problems. We are prepared for anything over here. Holy Craig, I'm not reading that out loud. Yeah, it's true though. They ain't gonna know what hit them. Hair Juicer, I stopped using Apple when they said they'd be comparing cloud photos to known CP. Excuse me? Did you just admit that you have a database of CP? Yeah, that's what it sounds like, Hair Juicer. It's not good. Hair Juicer Grok is pretty fun to play with. I agree. I mess with Grok every once in a while. I made the Thanksgiving live whatever thumbnail thing using Grok, and I think it turned out pretty good. Thank you so much, Patriot Dad, for that $1 donation over on Rumble. You're a badass, Patriot Dad. Thank you so much. Says, like to have a beer or two with you, Jeff. Good dude. I appreciate you, Patriot Dad. Absolutely. Jack, I'm not saying that out loud. Happy freedom to you, Jack. What's up, neighbor guy? Happy freedom to you. Well, I don't know what it is, neighbor guy. I have to look it up still. New day. Happy freedom to you. I'm seeing a whole lot of TikTok today of European people thinking that they would beat the U.S. in a war. Interesting. That's, I don't know. You know, people got to have something to say, I suppose. That's nice. Stern, wishful thinking, yeah. I try not to talk about stuff like that. I don't like to get involved in that kind of stuff. I'm an American. You guys know how I feel about this. So I just, yeah, that's, that's nice. That's a nice thought. I might, Lisa. Why are you asking? I don't know what to say in response. Holy. That is funny. What's up, Sherry? Happy freedom to you. Thank you so much, Clemens World, for rating the chat. You're a badass. Thank you so much. Master Meatball, happy freedom to you. 2 things your online activity is used to create a mental profile of you so they can find the useful idiots. They probably think I'm a psychopath if they look at my phone. You should hear the stuff we talk about in the voice chat, and I'm always having to type stuff in. I don't know what the Fed boys think of me. It's something else. Master Meatball, also sex is used to blackmail people online. Yeah, well, I don't have any of that, so I think I'm all right. Hooligans Island, they're cloning the cats. No, don't say that. Klaus, you hush your little ears. They're not cloning the cats. Come on, man. You know that never works out. Have you seen Pet Sematary? Corey Luca, how young was Bone Thugs when they made Faces of Death their first CD? Probably like 18. Probably like 18 or 19. They were young. They were young back then. They're still doing it too. What's up, Grenados? Happy freedom to you. Lone Wolf, Temu, yeah. Well, I was trying to think of Wish earlier, but all those apps, they don't have a problem with that. Temu, like, I've heard so many times that people will buy stuff on Temu, and then all of a sudden their credit cards are compromised and stuff, and they got to close their bank accounts and everything else because they went and bought a $12 computer from Temu or something like that. I don't know. And they don't have a problem with that at all. They have no problem with you giving your credit card numbers to Chinese apps like that. But to hang out on TikTok, well, China's bad. It just don't make any sense. Hair Juicer, InfoWars. InfoWars has an affiliate program where you get 10% of the sales if you come from your unique link to their store. Interesting, Hair Juicer. Thank you for letting me know. I never even thought about that. I will try and remind me during the voice chat. I don't know if I'll be able to hang out for the whole voice chat, but I'm going to hang out for a little bit of it. I'll try and remind me, and I'll look into it while we're hanging out. Appeal to Heaven, I use PayPal for Temu, track packages and everything. Yeah, and PayPal's the way to go for those kind of situations. That's what I do. I do the same thing. I don't use Temu, but if I'm making purchases online, I have the availability for PayPal. I use it. I know PayPal has its own problems, but either way, it's better than compromising your credit cards and having to call stupid numbers and all of that. David, I think Lazy Bone is still putting songs out. Yeah. I can't remember if Wish is still doing it. I can't remember. It's been a while. Jack, Temu at your own risk. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think any of that Temu stuff is actually worth it. I don't think buying any of that Chinese stuff is really worth it. There's stuff on Amazon that I don't even realize it comes from China. I'll order it and I'll get it and it'll be broken in the same day. Cat toys, there's just so much stuff that I've gotten from online stores that is some chintzy thing I thought I was getting a deal on, and it ends up being just crap. And most of that stuff, like Temu stuff, is just crap. Just buying crap. Oh, thanks, David. I appreciate it. Me and Lazy Bone were going to have another song coming out, but something happened, and they had to back out of it. So I kind of have like an unreleased song, but I don't have his whole verse or whatever, so I can't really show anybody that stuff. I don't have the license to play it for anybody, but we were going to have a second song come out, and some things happened and it just didn't work out. Holy hair juicer. You should have said something. Well, I mean, there isn't a whole lot I could do about it, but I'm sorry to hear that. Appeal to Heaven. I deleted the app after the holidays, but for $20 I bought everyone gifts. Well, there you go, Appeal to Heaven. Used it strategically. Josh 1776. X is not a platform of free speech. I don't really think so either. They ban people for all kinds of stupid reasons. Cinderella, why? What does that mean? Now I'm a little nervous to look it up. Steve S. Are hairless cats easier to cook? You gotta ask everyone in Ohio. You know, you gotta ask those people down in Springfield, Ohio. They'd know better than me. Hooligans Island, that's the music industry for you. Yeah, absolutely. Things happen. Everybody's living out of a van and shit. It's very messy. Music industry is messy, and anybody that's super famous, well, now you're starting to look at Hollywood level kind of people who have the same kind of mentality. It's like hanging out with Diddy and shit, and so, you know, it's not a great place, I'll say that. Lily, well done but not burnt. Is that how you like your kitty? No, we're not gonna eat the cats, eating the dogs, they're eating the pets. Not the hooligans though. Either way, we're gonna get in this next video here. Like I said, this is titled CNN blaming no water for fires on homeowners' water use. They use too much water and it's their fault their houses are burning down. Now, before we get into this, I want to remind you guys really quick, if you would like to join the membership program over on Rumble, all you have to do is click that big red subscribe button right below where you type in the chat. Now, if you're on Android and using the Rumble app, I don't think you can see the big red subscribe button. So you got to go to rumble.com, come to the live, hop in the chat, and like I said, right below where you type in the chat, you will see that big red subscribe button. Click that button and jump through the hoops, and your name will be highlighted as an official Rumble hooligan. You'll have access to our custom emojis. We have chapstick emojis, scream and goat emojis, Klaus Daniels emojis, President Trump emojis, and more. It's a lot of fun during the live, especially during a Trump live like we will have coming up on the 19th. So definitely go join the membership program over on Rumble. Let's get the CNN video pulled up. Don't you worry, we're not going to be watching a whole clip of CNN, just enough to make your stomach sick. And like I said, they're going to blame the homeowners for losing their house. So hit that thumbs up over on Rumble, and let's get this rolling.
But there's just the lack of water is a problem. In the Palisades, the water issue is according to authorities, is a gravity issue. In order to get the water through the hydrants up in the hills and the mountains, you know, they have these giant water tanks that use gravity, and those water tanks ran dry. Part of the problem is a lot of people are using hoses, trying to understandably hose down their lawns, hoping that will stop the fire. A lot of firefighters will say that's not going to stop a fire like this from burning down your house. You may keep your lawn, but it's not going to keep your house. But, you know, there's this huge water usage all of a sudden, and those tanks on the top, there may be water in the system down below, but if the tanks on the top run dry, there's not enough pressure for gravity to bring the water up into the hydrants. That's in the Palisades. I don't know the water system here in Altadena.
Okay, so it's gravity's fault, and it's the homeowner's fault because they were watering their lawn and trying to protect their house. They did it. Trump did it. Everybody did it. And then a big congratulations to Newsom and Mayor Bass or whatever, putting the ass in Bass, for doing absolutely nothing while Los Angeles burns down. Big shout out to all of them. Well, we might as well just hop into this next video here. It's titled LA Area Wildfires Killed 10 and Burned 10,000 Structures. Obviously, this is an update on the fire situation in Los Angeles. They're going to mention a potential arsonist that they supposedly arrested. Now, this is like the third guy I've heard that contributed to the fires, didn't necessarily, or at least to my knowledge, is not being accused of starting the initial fires, but just starting fires while there's already fires going because people are stupid. On top of that, they're going to be interviewing a family that supposedly lost everything. Now, obviously LA is really on fire and people really are losing everything, but there's something about this interview that just doesn't feel real. It feels like these people that they're interviewing who supposedly just lost everything seems very fake and staged. Now, it's just my opinion. I'm not trying to make people mad, but that's what it really seems like to me. So either way, we're going to get right into this. Get this pulled up really quick. All right, we're going to get into this malarkey. Once again, this is titled LA Area Wildfires Kill 10 People and Burn 10,000 Structures. Hit that thumbs up over on Rumble, and let's get this rolling.
News Nation's Xavier Walton has been in Los Angeles in the path of these deadly wildfires since the start. Xavier, 4 days later, and there is some good news. Crews are making progress in containment of some areas, but what is the devastation looking like where you are today?
Hey, Nick, good morning. Yeah, well, when you take a look, I mean, just it speaks for itself. Still, people, families coming back to their homes, finding it hard to come up with the words to really describe what they're actually feeling and also what they're seeing. I mean, keep in mind, this place here just a couple of days ago, it is getting better because this is what it looked like. I mean, when you talk about how strong the winds were and fueling the fire, when we got to this home, initially, it hadn't been touched. But after a few moments, some embers, and then it was fully engulfed. And now when you look at it, I mean, it is almost unrecognizable. And I have a flashlight, and I'm trying to really just see and try to make out what some of these things are. It really is difficult. Earlier, I picked up an alarm clock, and you go back to the patio, and you can see some of the patio furniture. I mean, this property backs up to the ocean. I can see down to the PCH. I can see down some city lights. I mean, this home was fully engulfed in flames, and this is all that's left, reduced to rubble. Obviously, firefighting still going on. This fire here in the Palisades, only about 6% contained. Let's start with the Kenneth fire, though. That burned about 1,000 acres this morning. The LAPD is investigating as a possible arson. Police confirming one suspect is in custody. They spoke exclusively to News Nation, confident that fire was started by a criminal. Over 35,000 acres have already burned across Los Angeles County since the fires flared up Tuesday. The largest where we are, Palisades fire, nearing 20,000 acres now. That number likely to grow. One fire, the Eaton fire, still 0% contained this morning. That one burned over 13,000 acres, is being blamed for 5 deaths. At least 10 people, you mentioned this, at least 10 people have died in these fires. But county officials warn that number could go up. 3 other fires, the Kenneth, Hearst, and Lydia, burned a combined 2,100 acres, all between 35 and 75% contained, so that's improvement. Some evacuation orders have been lifted at this hour. Some, 180,000 residents were forced out of their homes this week due to these fires. Just under the population of Providence, Rhode Island, to give you a perspective, over 10,000 structures either damaged or destroyed. Some residents returning to rubble. I spoke to one family who bought their home, listen to this, back in 1969.
If I sound calm, that's being numb. It hasn't, I mean, to process this is going to take a while.
Yeah.
I mean, thinking back on all the photographs I had that I wanted to scan, negatives I wanted to,
Negatives he wanted to, So obviously, it's hard to process everything. And some people are so numb to it, they don't even know what words to use, what words to say. But as people try to kind of wrap their heads around what happened, firefighters are still out here working around the clock, some traveling as far as, New York just to come here, as well as surrounding states. But Nick, it is not over yet. There are more Santa Ana winds. Obviously, it's that time of the year coming. Hopefully, they aren't too bad, but firefighters certainly ready to battle anything that comes this way.
Xavier, we were able to juxtapose the images of you on Wednesday against where you are now and how it looks now. And you mentioned how it's so dark. That's because the power lines have been burned out and there's nothing there, right?
Absolutely. In fact, there's a line down beside our photographer. Even driving around this community, you got to be really careful because there are down power poles, there are down power lines. Even on Wednesday when we were here, we saw power poles on fire. So we knew that was going to be the situation coming in, Nick.
Xavier Walton with the very latest in that damaged area. Xavier, thank you so much and stay safe.
Thanks for watching.
Okay, so that's our update on the fires in Los Angeles there. But like I said, that interview, and people always get mad when I point this stuff out, that interview sounded fake to me. This guy, they handed him the script. He was like holding his chest. If I seem calm, blah, blah. I've had my house burned down. I've lost everything in a fire. And I wasn't doing any of that shit. I was upset. I was like looking for somebody to kick in the teeth like it was their fault. I was upset. And I was in shock. I couldn't feel anything. I was having a hard time. I went up there doing all that grandstanding and nonsense like you're on Broadway. That stuff looked fake to me. And then you could see the guy who was being arrested there who supposedly was starting fires, and I've heard multiple incidents of people contributing to the fires, setting things on fire. I even heard something about homeless people pouring gasoline in the sewers and stuff to have fire in the sewers, and looting, killing, all kinds of stuff going on because there's nobody doing anything. So if you kill somebody and then the fire comes through and turns everything into ashes, well, who's going to investigate that? They're going to assume everybody who died in the fire. And these homeless people and everybody else who wants to take advantage of it, that's exactly what they're doing. They're taking advantage of the situation. And it seems like the elite are doing the same thing because they're really not lifting a finger to help these people. You're gonna blame homeowners for using all the water. Like, it's so, how can you be so close to the ocean and have problems like that? It just doesn't make any sense to me. Either way, next up we got Trump sentenced to unconditional discharge in New York criminal trial. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat and see what you hooligans think about this update on the fires in LA. What's up, Cassie J? Happy freedom to you. Breeze by you. Looks fake to me too. Yeah, the interview just doesn't feel genuine. We've covered so many interviews, especially street interviews and stuff like that. Nothing about that right there felt genuine at all. Reading through. Guess yeah, okay. How many people died in North Carolina again? Yeah, see, and they don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about that at all. They have no relief for the people in North Carolina. I can't believe that we didn't get one person to ask about it during the press briefing. When they were talking about FEMA relief and all of that, what about the people in North Carolina? And they're like, don't know what you're talking about. Stupid. Those people aren't even getting the $750 that they were kind of being promised, let alone any relief afterwards. And their excuse was that FEMA didn't have any money, and they just did all that rebudgeting to prevent the government shutdown, and part of that was hurricane relief for FEMA. So they have funds to do it. They can't make the excuse that they don't have the funds for it anymore. They need to actually go help those people in North Carolina. Guess the homeless camps are gone now. I want to say that Newsom made some changes a couple months ago, and they made it public camping illegal or something like that. And then supposedly they were cleaning up the homeless problem, but then we didn't really hear anything else about it. So either they pulled those homeless people out before the fires began, or it's just a bunch of nonsense trying to make themselves look good, and then all those people are going to perish in the fire unless they move their campsite, which maybe they will. Guess he had a blowtorch. I was seeing stuff about that on X. Breeze by you, they love to blame everyone except those responsible. Absolutely. Zero. Yeah. Voice chat's gonna be late. We're already 15 minutes late for voice chat. We're gonna be a little bit late today. Livid review. These fires make me wonder what deposits are under the soil there. Me too, Livid review. Seems very strategic. All of this does. And they all keep telling us their sad story. All day we've been hearing their sad story. They feel so bad for the people, you know, dealing with fire and all of that. But feeling sorry for people doesn't stop the fire. It doesn't, you know, prevent houses from burning down and stuff. They have to actually put forth effort. It doesn't sound like they're doing that. Jay Spray, Cali got instant emergency funding, so I've heard. Yep, they were talking about it on the press briefing earlier today. Yep, they got money right away. I don't know what they're doing with it, though. Non-woke Newsom and his woke minions are bad for Cali. Absolutely. And he's going to be running for president in 2028. And I really don't want to see that happen. Done. Homeless people gone. Soylent Green is people. Yeah. Homeless people don't just disappear. Shroomish gave it to the Ukraine. Yeah. Los Angeles is on fire. Send $1 billion to the Ukraine. That'll fix it. What's up, High Plains Drifter? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Soccer Sucks? Happy freedom to you. Pumpkin, Dems break everything. They do. They got a talent for it. David, Press was an asshole for, or was assho for not asking. I agree. I really thought they were going to ask about it, but like I said, the reason we kind of dropped everything to cover the press briefing is, one, they had FEMA on there, and I was interested to hear if they were going to bring up North Carolina, but also we only got 10 days left of this administration. I don't know how many more press briefings we have with KJP, so I figure we better at least capture this one. Craig, MK Ultra? Could be. Definitely could be. I don't understand why homeless people would want to set more stuff on fire. I just don't get that. I was talking about that yesterday. Just doesn't make sense. Trader, I lost everything in a house fire. It sucked ass. It does suck ass. It's a terrible thing to happen. Done. I've seen a video of some libs tossing gas cans out of the back of SUVs. I wouldn't be surprised. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of people that seem to be contributing to these fires, which again makes it look even more strategic. Puffin stuff, Biden's live taking questions. And we could check on it really quick. Normally we don't cover Biden, but we only got so many days of that left, don't we? So I guess we could see. I guess it just ended. Yeah, it must have just ended. How long did it last? It lasted for like 13 minutes. What is it? Biden delivers remarks on today's job report and state of the economy. No, we're not. No. Let's listen to the last little bit of it and see if they actually ask questions that are worth listening to. But we're not going to listen to him giving his little speech and stuff because I don't care about the jobs report and bullshit. They just lie about all that stuff anyways. So let's skim through the last little part. Perfect. There you go. Old man Walter. It's when you think of the last 4 years, that's the face you make right there. Is that. And then, of course, we got Mrs. Hands there throwing up gang signs. Anyways, we're going to listen to a little bit of this. We're going to skim around and see if there is any questions or answers that have any value to them. But we're not going to listen to this whole 13-minute video.
Yeah, that, you know, a billionaire can buy something and say, by the way, from this point on, we're not gonna factor. But if it hadn't, if those other conditions didn't exist, it would have had an impact. I already decided that Putin's in tough shape right now.
Announced today. Some are saying that they don't go far enough by not targeting the petroleum sector. Why was this administration hesitant to apply further sanctions to the oil and gas industry there?
That's still being investigated in terms of what impact it would have and whether or not it would just be replaced by Iran or any other country. So it matters what would happen afterwards. I had a long discussion again with the man who should be appointed president on that score, but since I didn't have a clear answer to what that would be,
come on, man.
If I had more time, I may very well do that, but I didn't have enough data to make that judgment.
If I could also ask about Havana syndrome. Today, the intelligence community assessment changed slightly with 2 intelligence agencies now saying there's an even chance that this is being caused by a foreign actor. Do you personally believe that a foreign actor is responsible for these incidents?
No. Now, do I believe that ISIS is outside influence?
Sorry, so my question was on Havana syndrome, not Nevada, sorry, on the
from abroad, and I'm not going to comment on that right now.
Just one question again back on pardons and commutations. Can you just give us a sense of what other pardons and commutations you're considering in your last 10 days?
Well, the answer is no, because two things. One is that it depends on some of the language and expectations that Trump broadcast in the last couple days here as to what he's going to do. The idea that he would punish people for not adhering to what he thinks should be policies related to his well-being is outrageous. But there's still consideration of some folks, nothing but no decision.
Thanks, everybody. Have you talked about what kind of post-presidency? Have you decided what kind of role will you have post-presidency, sir? Do you plan to speak out after you leave Washington, or are you going to follow kind of more of the Bush model, where you're kind of out of sight, out of mind?
I'm not going to be out of sight or out of mind.
Look at that mullet. It's growing in nicely. Old man Walter, I guess that just happened. Nothing about North Carolina, though. Either way, we're going to continue reading through the chat. Like I said, next video coming up is Trump sentenced to unconditional discharge in New York criminal trial. We're going to read through the chat really quick, though. Russell, you know the thing. Yeah, the thing. Freeze by Hugh's face. I know. He was having a hard time. Live review. My wife asked the bigger question: how many more disasters can we fit in 10 days? We're going to find out. They're hell-bent on it. They don't talk about New Orleans or the Cybertruck or any of that's just gone now. They don't talk about it at all. I like how they asked him, you going to be like lingering around like your dusty farts, or are you going to just disappear like George Bush? He don't know. He doesn't know anything about anything. Russell, he's been out of sight for 4 years. I know. He's spent half of his term being on vacation. How much more out of sight is he trying to be? Jeb, we knew the dumpster fires were coming. Absolutely. Non-woke, all gone on J20. That's right. Hold on a second. Holy. Holly, even the deaf people are being lied to. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I think about that all the time. I feel like they might be being lied to worse than we are. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but I just see the people doing the sign language stuff. And we played a funny video of the day that was kind of like, it was making fun of that, saying, why do they have sign language people on the screen? I'm like, so they know what everyone's saying. Okay, but why not just turn on the captions? Like, I guess I don't know. I'm like, yeah, so why is there sign language people on the screen? And so it makes me think that they're being fed more bullshit than we are. I just don't know any signing to be able to tell. Holy. Now all of a sudden I'm going to develop a cough right here on the live. It's great. It's good stuff. Jeb, go ride a bike. That's one way to tell off old man Walter. Go ride a bike. Wayward, he calls him Trump instead of Don. Yep, he's a fan. I think so. Old man Walter, when he leaves office, he should just go ahead and wear a MAGA hat on his way out. Jeb, I thought he dozed off there. I did too. That was the longest pause ever. I froze. I was trying to figure out which soundbite I wanted to play first. And I froze there right with him. Cocker sucks. Joey should run again in 2028. I wonder what he's going to look like in 2028. He's going to look like Jimmy Carter. Bill Clay, if you have trouble talking, you can get a sign lady to sign for you. I'm trying to get Klaus Daniels to do it, but he ain't got thumbs, so, we got to figure it out. I pay him in Fancy Feast. Jay Spray, the hand people are the ones that probably only know the truth. I mean, it could be. It could be. It's been something we've debated for years. Oh, Happy New Year to you, Viola. Thank you. Hold on to that podium, yeah. He grips it hard. I don't know. He don't trust himself with it. What's up, Twitching Bad? Happy freedom to you. He was asked if he planned on pardoning himself of any more, or any more family, and he said no. Why would he? He didn't do anything wrong. Well, he's already been pardoned when he pardoned Hunter Biden, because Hunter Biden was the connection between everything, and that's why it went back to 2014. He pretty much already did pardon himself, and he really don't have to, because he's immune from criminal accountability anyway, because he's unfit to stand trial. So if he wants to go on a killing spree in 10 days and just shoot everybody he sees, well, they're not going to do anything about that. They've already said that he's unfit to stand trial. They're going to hand him a cookie and a new diaper and send him on his way. He'll be fine. He'll get a new ice cream cone, and we'll call it a day. So, old man Walter, he's a dangerous guy right now. He's got a lot of power. He's immune to jail. What's up, Southern Eagleman? Happy freedom to you. Sherry, he lied about everything. Absolutely. That's what he does. Twitching Bad. He lied to us for years about pardoning Hunter. Why would we believe him now? I don't believe anything he says. I just like to cover his lies so we understand why the normies are all freaking out. Thank you so much, Southern Eagleman, for those bits over on Twitch. I appreciate the support. Thank you. Hooligans Island, amen, hallelujah, and boom shakalaka. I mean, I guess. What's up, Mercedes? Happy freedom to you. Unfit to stand trial, but fit to run the country. Yeah, that's where we are. What's up, Chad? Happy freedom. What's up, Scott Johnson? Happy freedom to you. Russell, it's easier for deaf people to read signs than it is to read captions. Yeah, I could see that. Alright, hooligans, we're going to get into this next one. We got 3 more news videos, including this next one. We got our fun stuff coming up after that. Once again, this is titled Trump Sentenced to Unconditional Discharge in New York Criminal Trial. Now, like I said in the beginning, never heard of unconditional discharge. Never heard of that before. It just basically means that we're going to call you guilty, we're going to charge you with the crime, and that's it. No fines, no restitution, no community service, no jail time, no house arrest, no tether, no nothing. You just get a new title, and that's it. And we all knew this was all about calling President Trump a felon, and that's literally all they gain by this. They're not punishing him in any way other than calling him a felon, saying he's 34-time felon, and that's it. So either way, hit that thumbs up over on Rumble, and let's get into this.
Some of the reports are coming in now. Again, this is official. The sentencing, unconditional discharge. Trump will not face a fine. He will not face jail time. He will not face probation. He will be labeled, though, a convicted felon by the court there in New York. One of the reporters there inside the courtroom says that the Justice Juan Merchan was quoted saying, "Sir, I wish you Godspeed as you assume your second term in office." He knows the weight of this case. Doug, your thoughts now that we have this concrete sentencing?
I mean, that's like science fiction. Are you kidding me? He gives him an unconditional discharge. I can't help myself. On a felony conviction, then he goes, "Godspeed as President of the United States of America." I mean, it's worth noting, off of Randy's point, that yes, you have that issue about infecting the trial evidence with stuff that is subject to immunity, but there are errors that go way, way beyond that, as I know Randy knows. Obviously, we've discussed it, but the point is, allowing them to argue that it's an illegal hush money scheme when the payment of the hush money is not even illegal, elevating something to a felony without specifying what the additional crime is. I mean, this thing was just breathtaking. And, we'll see what happens on appeal. But, they did this specifically just to go with that label, a convicted felon. They called him a convicted felon all day long, by the way, when he wasn't. That's worth noting and repeating. They just don't stop. It's really quite something to observe, honestly.
Yeah, it is. And you see on your screen, the reporters are filing out of the courtroom there. We've got the verdict in, not the verdict, I should say, the sentence in, the unconditional discharge. And so, Randy, does this at all hang over the second term of the Trump administration in terms of, I don't know, anything beyond just a title?
No, it means absolutely nothing, I think, to Doug's point, and to Stephen Miller's point, putting aside some of the rhetoric and the hyperbole and the raised temperature. The American people have spoken, and the American people have said, we don't care. What we care about is we care about our security. We care about how much we have to pay for food and pay for gas. It's all about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and no one understands that better than Mr. Trump. All he needs to do is to deliver on his promise of securing our borders, making this country safer, putting more money in people's pockets, and people don't give a crap what he does.
Information. Truth.
So anyways, like I was saying, they're just giving him a title of felon, and he will be stuck with everything that comes with being a felon. But that's it. And that's pretty unheard of. You get hit with a felony, most likely you're going to prison. But on top of going to prison, you're probably getting house arrest, and that's if you make parole. You're going to pay crazy fines, things like that. You're going to have restrictions, and I mean, your life's a mess. You commit felonies, your life is a mess. But for President Trump, they didn't give him anything except for the title of being a felon. Well, that's how you know that it's nonsense. That's not justice. You don't go to court to gain a title. Like, what's the point of that? And with it being a felon or a felony, felons have certain things that are restricted from. But if this was a misdemeanor, right, and he assaulted somebody, he punched them so hard, broke their nose or something like that. Well, it's like taking him to court and going, okay, well, we're going to charge you with felony or with regular assault and battery, and that's it. Have a good day. Is that justice? No, that's not justice. Now, in this case, we know that President Trump didn't do anything wrong. There's so much stuff wrong with this case. It should have been thrown out. Should have been thrown out before, but it definitely should be thrown out since he's got presidential immunity. And their last fuck you to him is to give him this title so he can be a felon, call him names, and that's it. I mean, he's a wealthy dude. They could have got fines out of him and stuff, but it's not about justice. That's why. It's not about holding him accountable for his actions, like when you go to court. No. It's about calling him a felon, and that's all it's about. Now, they were talking about in that video they're going to appeal it, and we already knew he was going to appeal it. They're going to probably have Alina Habba on it, and she gets things done. So it'll be nice to hear when they get this overturned. Hopefully they will be able to quickly, so we don't have to hear for the next 4 years about how everyone's mad that we like having a felon for a president and all this shit. Those people can eat shit. Either way, hopefully the appeal goes through quickly and everything will get smoothed out. Either way, next up we have an injustice. Trump addresses New York sentencing hearing after prosecution put down is how it's worded. Now we're going to hop right into this just because it's tied to the video we just watched. This is an audio clip of President Trump in the courthouse. Right, or in the courtroom, not just the courthouse, but in the courtroom right after being sentenced. So hit the thumbs up over on Rumble, and let's get into this.
Would your client like to be heard?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. This has been a very terrible experience. I think it's been a tremendous setback for New York and the New York court system. This was a case that Alvin Bragg did not want to bring. He thought it was, from what I read and from what I hear, inappropriately handled before he got there. A gentleman from a law firm came in and acted as a district attorney, and that gentleman, from what I heard, was a criminal or almost criminal in what he did. It was very inappropriate. It was somebody involved with my political opponent. Part of the records that we're talking about, they're saying, I just noticed where he said I was falsifying business records. Well, the falsification of business records, as they said, was calling a legal expense in the books where everybody could see them, a legal expense. In other words, that legal fees or legal expense were put down as legal expense by accountants. They weren't put down by me, they were put down by accountants. I didn't call them construction, concrete work, I didn't call them electrical work, I didn't call them anything. They called a legal fee or a legal expense, and for this, I got indicted. It's incredible, actually. Now, if you look, my attorney alluded to it, the top legal scholars and legal pundits in this country, the ones that are quoted all the time on television, that are making their views felt, and highly respected people, have said, everyone, virtually everyone that I know of, I haven't seen any to the contrary, not one, and none of these people are not exactly friends of mine, to put it mildly, but they all said this is a case that should have never been brought. It's an injustice of justice. Very respected Jonathan Turley, Andy McCarthy, Judge David Rifkin, a wonderful man who just passed away, by the way, Greg Jarrett, Ellie Honig from CNN, of all places. CNN said that. Paul Ingracian, Alan Dershowitz, they all said this is not a case that should be brought. It's not, think about it, legal expenses are down as legal expenses, and I get indicted for business records. Everybody should be so accurate. It's been a political witch hunt. It was done to damage my reputation so that I'd lose the election, and obviously that didn't work. And the people of our country got to see this firsthand because they watched the case in your courtroom. They got to see this firsthand, and then they voted, and I won and got the largest number of votes by far of any Republican candidate in history, and won, as you know, all 7 swing states, won conclusively all 7 swing states, and won the popular vote by millions and millions of votes. And they've been watching your trial. So they understood it. I wasn't allowed to use the lawyer-client privilege or the reliance on counsel. I had a lawyer that made this deal, and he admitted that. And he was also a totally discredited person. We weren't allowed to use the information from the Southern District that totally discredited him. It wasn't allowed to be put in. And that was terrible, unbelievable. And this is a man who's got no standing. He's been disbarred on other matters, unrelated, and he was allowed to talk as though he were George Washington, but he's not George Washington. He shouldn't have been allowed. The Southern District did a book of approximately 28 pages where I've never seen anything like it. They excoriated him. You wouldn't let it be put into evidence. So he was able to testify as a witness, and I think it's a disgrace to the system. I was under a gag order. I'm the first president in history that was under a gag order where I couldn't talk about aspects of the case that are very important. I guess I'm still under, so probably I won't do it now. I assume I'm still under a gag order. But the fact is that I'm totally innocent. I did nothing wrong. They talk about business records, and the business records were extremely accurately counted. I had nothing to do with them. That was done by an accountant or bookkeeper who I think gave very credible testimony and was corroborated by everybody that was asked. And with all that's happening in our country today, with a city that's burning to the ground, one of our largest, most important cities burning to the ground, with wars that are uncontrollably going on, with all of the problems of inflation and attacks on countries and all of the horrible things that are going on, I got indicted over calling a legal expense a legal expense. It was called a legal expense. I just want to say I think it's an embarrassment to New York, and New York has a lot of problems, but this is a great embarrassment. I believe that this and other cases that were brought, as you know, the DOJ is very much involved in this case. It's because that's the political opponent they're talking about. The DOJ is very involved. You have a gentleman sitting right there from the DOJ who was from the DOJ's office. He was also involved with the New York State Attorney General's case. And he went from there to here. He went around and did what he had to do. He got them to move on me. But in the meantime, I won the election in a massive landslide. And the people of this country understand what's gone on. This has been a weaponization of government. They call it lawfare. Never happened to any extent like this, but never happened in our country before. And I'd just like to explain that I was treated very, very unfairly. And I thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Trump.
I'm Steve Ducey.
So as you can hear, that's President Trump right after being sentenced there, just letting his voice be heard, knowing, it's not going to make a difference to those commies out there in New York. But I'm sure he knew that all of us would be able to hear him speak. And he sounded pretty human to me after just being sentenced and stuff like that, which is no fun to go through, whether you did it or you didn't do it. Having somebody else judge you like that and sentence you to against your will never feels good. But we know President Trump's going to make that appeal there, and hopefully it goes through and he can get all this nonsense lifted. So now he is a felon. He has to deal with things as felons do, not being able to have a gun. In most states you can't vote and so on and so forth. So I looked it up, and it says in Florida, most felons can vote if they have completed all terms of their sentence, including parole and probation, and have paid all fines, fees, and restitution. The eligibility was restored by an Amendment 4 passed in 2018 for those convicted of nonviolent felonies. Now, with President Trump having unconditional discharge, it means that he's not required to do anything. He's done. As soon as he gets sentenced, which has already happened, he has done everything he had to do, to pay his dues or whatnot. So he is eligible to vote in Florida. And then it goes on to say individuals convicted of murder or sexual offenses cannot vote unless their rights are restored by the state clemency board. Now, in Michigan, as far as I know, nothing's changed, and if he was here, he would not be able to vote here. And there's a lot of states that are like that. If you are a felon, you cannot vote. Now, President Trump thankfully has Secret Service, so he don't have to worry about carrying a gun or anything like that. I know he really wanted to get that Trump 45, I think it was, that had come out. And, well, he might have to just wait till the appeal before he can purchase one of those. Either way, next up we have How Young is Too Young for Tattoos. This is a story about how a 9-year-old went into a tattoo place trying to get a tattoo of Trump and got an American flag instead. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat and see what you hooligans think about President Trump being sentenced today. Breeze by you, Trump has no terms. Yep. Yeah, so he's already completed his terms. If necessary, he could vote today if he had to. Snugs, Trump still can't own a gun. Yeah, that's what I was just saying. Russell, the whole thing is BS. It is. It's all just name calling and nonsense. Like I said, it's like one big fuck you to President Trump. Last hurrah for them. Breezeway, you crazy accountants. How can they actually call a legal fee a legal fee? So silly. Yeah. Well, and that's kind of the weird thing about dealing with accountants. is you kind of are liable for what they do, which is a really weird thing. And I'm sure there's stipulations in that. But like even when you go get your taxes done, you go to like H&R Block or you go somewhere like that, you're still liable for your taxes even if they fuck it up. And that sucks. That sucks because you don't go to them and pay all that money so you can be accountable for their mistakes. That feels really wrong, but that's the way it is. And that's kind of what's happening to President Trump. He didn't even touch the books. He had someone that was paid to do that, and he's being held accountable for those actions, even though they can't even really come up with a way for those to be illegal. They're just like, well, we speculate this and that's good enough. And the whole thing's been ridiculous. So it'll be interesting when the appeal starts rolling and all of that, and we start hearing updates about, potentially having it lifted. Zero Milana, you can, and so can Barron. Yeah. Live review, my daughter's classmate, a 14-year-old, has a tattoo of a camel on her toe and a truck on the other. Wow. Live review, that's crazy. When I was in high school, there was like maybe 2 people that had tattoos, and they were like homemade tattoos. And that was it. That was it. I'm trying to I think I was one of them. But yeah, when I was in high school, kids were not getting tattoos. They wanted them, but there was nobody willing to do it. There was no tattoo artist willing to tattoo a kid. There wasn't parents willing to let their kid go tattoo themselves. And I mean, you see what this newer generation looks like. They all got face tattoos and shit. But very weird. I don't think kids should be getting tattooed. MU, I voted for the felon instead of a demon. Me too. Me too. Holly, he will appeal it and win. I hope so. If it doesn't win, I bet he'll try and get like a retrial outside of the state or something like that. There's no reason he should have to eat this felony. Non-woke, the DOJ is fixing for a major overhaul. Yep, 10 more days. Pumpkin, Trump is a good man and Dems hate good men. That's right, and that's why they won't stop going after him. And it's crazy how much stuff they try to pull up on him, and they really can't find anything that has substance. They can't find him doing anything wrong. I'm sure he's not perfect. I'm sure he has done stuff wrong. But when you got people looking at you with a microscope like that, it's really hard to not get found out about something you did wrong, right? They're trying to pull all the skeletons out of your closet. He's pretty squeaky clean for somebody who's been as famous as long as he is. Soccer sucks. 'Tis better to live as a felon than to die as a pedo. That's right, soccer sucks. Absolutely. What's up, Justin Sane? Happy freedom to you. Jay Blazer, this is not over. Prepare to be judged. Judge. That's right, Jay Blazer. Sherry, was that the sentence? Yeah, he was sentenced to... My brain ain't working right this second. Unconditional discharge. See, in my brain, it just sounds different. I think discharge and just not thinking about court stuff when I hear that. And so unconditional discharge just sounds like a lot of it. And so, I don't know. It's hard for me to remember that when we're talking about President Trump. I always want to say it sounds like something nasty. That's all I know. But yeah. Anyways. Mercedes. I can't wait until the DOJ goes after all of these criminals. I can't wait either. We talk about it every day. Can't wait for accountability to show up. We've been looking for it for years. Can't wait for it to show up. Steve asked, the judge doesn't care. Why waste your breath? I think it was just because President Trump knew that, Americans would hear it. That's just my guess. What's up, Shark? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Sam? Happy freedom. We love you too, Sam. Russell, in Louisiana, you got to be 18. I think here in Michigan, you only got to be 16, but you got to have a parent's signature. And that's what it was when I was younger. It might be different now. Appeal to heaven, I'm a bleeder when it comes to tattoos. Are ya? I've seen a couple of people that are like that. I don't really bleed that much when I get tattoos. I always get tattoos in like weird areas though. I've never really got like the meat on my arm done or the front of my torso. I got a bunch of ideas, but I don't got a bunch of money or time. I have no free time. And then I've been sick, and then that really messes things up too. So, you know, life. Life is like that. Either way, we're going to get into this last little bit of the news here before we get into our fun stuff. This last one's titled, How Young is Too Young for Tattoos? Talking about tattooing a 9-year-old. Now in this video, we're going to see the tattoo artist as well as the kid's new tattoo. This guy is one of those people who would just do anything for money. You can tell because he tattooed a 9-year-old. But not only did he tattoo a 9-year-old, he charged a crazy price to do it. And I don't know if that was a deterrence or just because he's that kind of person. Also, in this video, they're going to say, get inked way too many times. I don't know if that's the cool phrase of the day or what, but they say it way too many times. It sounds very cringy. Either way, getting into the story here, hit that thumbs up over on Rumble, and let's get this rolling.
It sounds like a parody, but it's actually real life. A tattoo parlor in Arizona is going viral after an artist documented himself inking the American flag on a 9-year-old girl. He says it wasn't what she and her parents requested when they originally came to him. News Nation's Elizabeth Brand joins us now to tell us more. Elizabeth, first of all, what did the parents actually want before they settled on the flag?
Right, so this is in Yuma, Arizona. When the family arrived, they wanted a bust of President-elect Donald Trump. This was back in May. President Biden, who is in office now, was still in office at the time. So we spoke with the artist. His name is Sosa. He's getting a ton of reaction online because he posted it on YouTube and other social media outlets where he's inking this 9-year-old girl with an American flag. He is the co-owner of Black Onyx Empire. Now, he did try to dissuade the family. He charged them much more than he normally would. This would normally cost $80. He charged them well over $500. He looked at the laws. He spoke with them before he did it. But listen, he told us that the family wanted to display their patriotism, that they're just so grateful to be here, the refugees from Turkey. So here's his side of the story. Listen here.
And they're just very happy of the opportunities that America gave to them and their family. The freedom that they were given. You could tell in the video that I sent you, she's not a normal 9-year-old girl. Like, you could tell when she's seeing things that other normal little kids have not experienced, you know? Like right here, little kids are used to playing with a soccer ball or playing outside over there. I'm sure it's different.
So, Nick, you can take that information and make your own opinion here. Now, she does have an older sister. She's 18 years old, but she also has an American flag tattoo that she got around 9 years old. Nick?
Elizabeth, question for you, though. Where is it legal for underage people to actually get inked?
Well, it's different state by state. There's no federal law. Certainly anyone under the age of 18 can't engage or enter in any type of a medical contract. So we looked at some of the laws to give you an example. So Arizona and Hawaii, you have to have parental consents across the board. If you look at Idaho, you do have to have the consent of an adult. You have to be at least 14. Same with Colorado and New Jersey, although it's a little bit older, you have to be 16 years old. And in Georgia, a physician has to be present. These are just examples. Certainly every state is different. And you might be wondering, can the businesses turn families away? Of course, Sosa had the legal right. He's the co-owner of a private business. These business owners can turn people away. It's just whether or not it's good for business. Nick?
Elizabeth, thank you so much.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to
So this guy charges them $500 for that flag. Calls it a day. Like I said, he's one of these people who just do anything for money. And then at the end, they talk about how They could have turned them away. They have the right to. Just like any other tattoo parlor, they can turn you away. They can refuse service, like any service. But they were like, no, it might not be good for business. That's how they compared it. They will deny people service based on what's good for business. You're trying to be in the business of tattooing 9-year-olds? Because if not, then you just turn those people away. That's not the right choice. I don't know. I kind of think CPS should be called on those people. Like, yeah, it's great. She got a flag tattoo. And, of course, I like flags and stuff. But not on a 9-year-old. That's wrong. That stuff is wrong. I just don't think so. I don't think you know what you want at 9 years old. And by the time, they're an adult, what is that tattoo going to look like? It's probably going to look rough. They also kind of slide in there that the child's sister also has a tattoo of a flag that they also got at 9 years old. And they just kind of like stick that right in there and then just run it over. Just never mind. Like, yeah, her sister who also got a tattoo at 9. Anyways, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So, yeah, the parents really need to be looked into because you shouldn't be getting tattoos at 9. And on top of that, they're saying that the 9-year-old originally wanted to get a bust of Trump tattooed. Why? What does a 9-year-old know about Trump? Like, if you want to get a Barney tattoo, then I would almost feel more comfortable with that. Like, it just makes more sense. It's a child. I don't really like children being involved in politics. They don't understand that stuff. They don't understand tattoos. Sounds like a bunch of no going on. And I don't think they should have did that. And then on top of it, they said that the person that did it is from like Turkey or something like that. So again, this person charged $500 for a flag tattoo to a person, a 9-year-old who should have never even been tattooed in the first place. All of that sounds bad to me. Either way, that is the last little bit of the news I have for you hooligans today. We got 2 funny videos coming up. But first, we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about a 9-year-old getting tattooed. Is there a family tradition? I mean, I guess. 9 years old is too young, though. They should do it at 18 or something. Even 16. 16 with parents' consent or something like that, then I guess. But 9? I wonder what tattoos I'd have if I was tattooing at 9. If I was just walking around getting tattooed at 9, I'd probably have crazy stuff on myself right now. You got there, Sam? Some mead. I love mead. That's awesome. Enjoy. That is awesome stuff. I've never seen that brand. Please tell you a crazy story. It is a crazy story. The review, the kid's going to be the coolest kid at the school now. That's true. That's true. They are going to be cool. They're getting all the popularity points right now. Until the kid gets taken out of the home, has to go to foster care, and then shows up at school in uniform every day, smelling like a farm, and everyone wants to know why, and they're like, well, got pulled out of the house because of the cool tattoo. Yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen, but, I mean, you never know. If they're telling their 9-year-old to get a tattoo of Trump, God only knows what else is going on. Russell, the kid should not be getting a tat, even though it is the flag. Yeah, that's how I feel, too. Flag tattoo, it's badass. On a 9-year-old, no, that should not be going on. What's up, Cadillacs? Happy freedom to you. Sam, it's so freaking good. I'm going to go back and buy all they got. Heck yeah, Sam. WMM, he's a huge fan of mead, too. I wonder if he's tried that stuff. That brand there. High Plains Drifter, no morals. Yeah, I don't know. It's such a weird place. As a 35-year-old, I feel uncomfortable going into tattoo parlors. I just don't know about bringing a 9-year-old in there. Like, that's weird. Non-woke, I don't regret my MAGA tattoo. Well, yeah, but I don't think you're 9. and you can make a choice like that, right? You can say, I like it, I want it forever, I'm keeping it. At 9, you don't know what forever is yet, you know? You just don't. Giggling Spy, $500 for an $80 tattoo? What a deal. Yeah. That should have been a big flag that what they're doing is not the right choice. David, that shit makes our side look bad. Yeah, the comments under these videos is just liberals having a heyday. They're all like, oh, but you're not in a cult. Oh, blah, 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 blah. You know, talking all their stupid shit. And it's like, these people did it. They signed up for that. Appeal to heaven, yeah. So who did the sisters at 9 years old? That's what I wonder too. Appeal to heaven, was it the same tattoo artist, or probably not, considering they migrated here? It's hard to say. What's up, Shom? Happy freedom. Show me, that's what it is. Show me freedom. Happy freedom to you. Pumpkin should be at least 18 for a tattoo. I think so too. Ghostly, what other adult things has she done, you sick fuck? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If the parents are pushing for their 9-year-olds to get tattoos and stuff, what else are they doing? What else do they got going on? Pumpkin, you got 5 tattoos? I didn't realize. Snooks, I don't know what to say about that. It wasn't happening on my end. I don't know what happened with everything. Garlic Press, I think all Democrats should have an L tattooed on their forehead. Well, that's what they think is going to happen, because they think President Trump's going to put them all in labor camps or something. I don't know what they think. They think crazy stuff. What's up, Rich? Happy freedom to you. Jay Blazer, $500. That deserves a dummy tattoo. I know. Like I said, I don't know if they charge $500 like it was a deterrent, or if they're trying to make it worth their while. Like, I don't know what the plan was with that. To even say it, to say out loud, yeah, this is actually an $80 tattoo, but we're going to charge you guys $500. And they were like, sounds good. Let's do it. Get in the chair, sweetheart. Like, I don't know. It's so unreal. What's up, Rude? Happy freedom to you. Everything. They are refugees, he said, which makes me sus if they're doing it for real reasons, like they say, or for nefarious reasons to appear to fit in. Regardless, still disagree on the tattoo place. Aren't they breaking the law? They're not breaking the law for the state they're in. Apparently they did it by the law, but the fact that they upcharged it so much, it just feels like everybody knew that was not the right choice to make, and they still made it anyways. Hill, I don't think anyone under 18 has the mental capability to know what to choose to have tattooed on their bodies at such a young age. Yeah, I agree. And it's probably going to look like shit when they develop. You got to at least be through puberty or something before you get tattoos, because that's when your body starts moving in different ways and all of that. I don't know. I think we're all in agreement here. That was a bad choice. We're going to get on to the fun stuff. Real quick here, we got 2 funny videos of the day. First one's titled Hilarious Standoff, and then our official funny video of the day is titled Possible Leads on Who Caused the Cali Fires. And that's a really funny video. All of it's coming up next, but first I want to remind you guys, if you would like to support the live to keep us running, you're welcome to use that Linktree link in the description in order to send donations. You can do that by using PayPal, Cash App, Stripe, Locals, Buy Me a Coffee, or you can even send crypto. Give me a second here to pull up these funny videos really quick, and we will get into things. Let me see here. Oh, yes, I remember now. This first one, like I said, is titled Hilarious Standoff.
Is he gonna flick him on?
Come on, buddy. Leave the bar. No way, brother. That's not suspicious.
At all.
Go get him, champ.
Holy. Here in Michigan, they can't do that stuff. It's considered entrapment for the cops to just sit out the bar waiting for you to come out so they can arrest you for drunk driving. I thought that was a hilarious standoff there. We're going to get into this next one. And this video is our official funny video of the day. This one is titled Possible Leads on Who Caused the Cali Fires.
Yes, I can hear you. So the family with the poor little girl who was...
Fire happening right now.
Say that again?
Why is there a fire happening right now?
There are multiple fires that are taking place.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're the news though. You're supposed to know.
Well, I don't know how it started. We don't know how it started. There, you know,
I think
winds.
it's all the gay people in LA.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
We got the
unacceptable. Gina, the.
It was all the gay people that did it. See, he knows. He knows what's going on. That is so funny. Well, hooligans, that is all the coffee I had for you guys today. I'm going to drop this Linktree link in all the chats for you guys. We got the Pledge of Allegiance coming up next, and then we will be wrapping this up. If you go get yourself a membership for jeffmaclive.com, you can join us in the voice chat, because we are going to be doing the voice chat even though we're super late. Normally we start 6 p.m. Eastern time on Fridays, but we were busy today and I was late and all kinds of other stuff. So we're still going to do the voice chat. I don't know if I'm going to be able to hang out for the whole 2 hours, so I need to get food and I am starting to feel worn out. But we'll see how it goes because we're still doing it. So either way, reading through the chat really quick. But before we do, I did drop the Linktree link, I think. Yes, we're good to go. So I did drop the Linktree link in all of the chats for you guys where all of my links are listed. So if you would like to make donations, join membership programs, or purchase any merch, really appreciate it. All of your guys' contributions keep us running every day except for Sunday because we got to have a day to recharge those batteries. Definitely go join Discord. Discord is our free community. It's the best way to be notified every single time we go live. The hooligans are there keeping the conversation going 24/7. And we have 2 news boards to keep you up to date with everything going on around the world. So definitely go join Discord. If you're feeling real saucy, go join jeffmaclive.com. Over on the website, it is the best way to experience the live. Our built-in chat has more ability than any other platform. You can post memes and GIFs and custom emojis and links and all kinds of stuff right there in the chat while watching the live. You will also have access to Hooligans Alley, which is our private social media area. You'll have access to our forums. You'll have access to the arcades. You'll have access to our advanced messaging system with the built-in group chats that gives you the ability to text each other, call each other, video call each other, group texting, group calling, group video calling, and more. jeffmaclive.com is the place to be and the home of the hooligans. So definitely go get yourself a membership. We're going to read through the chat really quick, see what you hooligans think about today's coffee. And then we got the Pledge of Allegiance coming up, and then we're wrapping things up. We will be live again tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. But it is Free Speech Saturday, so we will not be live on YouTube or Twitch because their community guidelines are bullshit, and we just don't deal with it on Saturdays. So if you watch on YouTube or if you watch on Twitch, use the Linktree link in order to go check out some of the other platforms that we go live on. We will be live on Kick, Rumble, jeffmaclive.com, as well as X. So go ahead and get used to watching on those platforms on Saturdays, and that way I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're going to read through the chat really quick, and we got the pledge coming up next. Zero, right after the live, we're going to do the voice chat, I think. I might have to go get some food first. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Right after, that's the plan, though. Right after the live, hop in the voice chat. Ah, thank you, Breeze by you. Russell, yeah. Russell, drunk jousting with a cop. I mean, something. It was something like that. Sam, they do that in Tennessee. They just hang outside the bar. That's why you got park 3 blocks down and you just take a walk afterwards. Don't drive drunk. Don't do that stuff, people. Here, Juicer, I can't remember if it was Subway or Taco Bell. They gave someone free food for life for getting a logo tattooed on their face. That's crazy, Here, Juicer. I don't know if I would get a franchise logo tattooed on my face. I like Taco Bell, but I mean, it ain't that damn expensive, you know. I'd rather keep my face the way it is, I suppose. What does that do, too old to care? David, they'll get you for riding a bike too? What is it considered? Just public intoxication? Because, you know, they can't give you for motorized. Oh, wait. No, it's not driving. It's not driving or a motorized vehicle. It's got to be public intoxication or, what did I get? Disorderly. Non-woke. Klaus is passed out. Oh, no. He's tired of my shit. That's what it is. Thank you, Pumpkin. I appreciate you being here. David, they can give you a DUI for riding a bike? Since when is riding a bike driving? That's crazy. Thank you, Appeal to Heaven. I appreciate you. You hooligans crack me up. Yeah, but that last funny video, I can only say so much about it because we know Twitch is all sensitive. Start talking about gay people and stuff, and they get all up in arms. What's up, Liberty Racer? Happy freedom. Pumpkin. American flag is a good choice, though. Yeah, for a tattoo, I suppose. Totally care. It'll break up the congestion. Yeah, that's what I need really bad now. Like, my body is very congested. My chest is full of nasty shit that I can't hack up. Non-woke on a horse, a lawnmower, and a golf cart. God, is it even America? You should be able to drink beer where you want to, damn it. Appreciate you, Stern. What's up, Rhyme Time? Happy freedom to you. Hooligans Island, Oprah, and the Obamas are responsible. I'm thinking you're right. Hey, thanks for being here, Sam. Russell, you can get a DUI for riding a horse. That's you'll never see me riding a horse. Riding a Klaus, maybe down to the West Coast. That's so crazy. You imagine getting pulled over on a horse? I'm not getting pulled over on a horse. Those are all terrain vehicles. Okay, you just take off, hop the fence, you'd be good to go. What are the cops gonna do? Chase you? They don't chase. They ain't been chasing criminals for years. He got away on a horse. Was it Zorro? I'm not sure. Like, I just can't take that shit seriously. That is crazy. David, holy, I just flipped the chat. First thing I read. Love that. It's such a good one. That's such a good joke, David. I appreciate it. Oh, that sounds fantastic, Zero. Hope you enjoy it. High Plains Drifter. Pissed off Drifter, 9 days and a wake up. Yeah, we're almost there. Alright, hooligans, it's that time once again where I'm going to sound like shit and we're going to struggle to do the Pledge of Allegiance. But it needs to be done. So please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, there we go. We did the thing. We know you did it at Heartclass Daniels. It's okay. It's okay. Well, we're going to get these beats rolling. We're going to read through the chat one last time just to make sure no hooligans are left behind. But like I said, we are going to be wrapping this up. We will be live again tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. It is Free Speech Saturday, so like I said, no Twitch, no YouTube. Use the Linktree link in order to get to all the other platforms where we will be live tomorrow. Like I said, 1 p.m. Eastern time for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. Thank you for being here, Cadillacs. Thank you, Too Old to Care. Appreciate you being with us. High Plains Drifter, riding a horse is like riding a bike. Jeez. I'm scared of horses, though. I ain't scared of bikes. It's not all the same to me. David, glad to share. Yeah, that was a good one. Hey, thanks for being here, Garlic Press. Thank you, Tony Rich. Thank you, Stern. Hooligans Island, no chip clip tattoos. Oh, man. Somebody's going to get one eventually. We keep bringing it up. Somebody's going to pop up with a chip clip tattoo. I know it. Thank you, Russell. Appreciate you being here. Thank you, Zero. Thank you, Breeze by You. Much love to you, Pumpkin. All right, hooligans. I think we are good to go. Like I said a million times, we are going to be live again tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time for Coffee with Hooligans on the free speech platforms. No YouTube, no Twitch. Keep that in mind tomorrow when we kick off the live. Trying to think. I think that's everything. We're going to be doing the voice chat right after we end the live here. So get yourself a membership over on jeffmaclive.com. That way you can join us for the voice chat, which is a ton of fun. But you got to have a membership. I think that's everything. Well, stay warm, hooligans. I appreciate all of you guys being here with me. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully you'll join me tomorrow. Have a fantastic night. If I don't see you in the voice chat. If I do see you in the voice chat, well, we're going to have a lot of laughs. I know that. Either way, huge shout out to everyone that made donations, joined the membership programs, or purchased any merch. I really appreciate all of you hooligans, and I wouldn't be able to do any of this if it wasn't for you. So thank you so much for all your support, and I'll see you on the next live. Until then, stand tall, shine bright, and that's a wrap.